Big up, big up, big up, and welcome to Liberal 12th Man Show. I'm Liberal 12th Man, and I am here momentarily solo, but I am here all the same, and I am here with you, which is all important as we go into some ratings and some review of the game that we just saw yesterday. Should be a fun, fun little journey that we're going to be embarking on, because I know that there were some different perceptions of how the game continued to progress and how we ended up handling the game out. And also, there was also some interesting takes that were being laid out before the game, and some interesting takes of players that is being made after this game has come to a conclusion. So we had a viral match reaction, and it was a good one too. I got to do a lot of different things with like discussing the game, discussing certain players and the likes. But you know how I do. I always like to watch the game over, get a good, real conceptualization of what transpired on the pitch. Some of the close calls, some of the non-calls, some of the actual just maybe subpar play, and maybe even exceptional play. So there's been plenty of analyzation of all that and the likes. But big up first off to Lee WizKid in the house. Big up to Lee. Big up to Edward. Philip, I see you as well. And Red Armchair Supporter, both from the heart and from the soul. Surely, much love for you guys tuning in to, like I said, a ratings and review show. So I hope that everyone's well out there. I got actually the game playing on in the background. That's why you might see like the flickering and the likes, because the game is like now. I've watched it again earlier for the like breakdown, wrote down my notes and stuff and likes. Now it just recirculated and is replaying again. We're already past the 2-2 mark when it was at 2-2. All the same. I hope everyone's well out there. Definitely hope everyone's well out there. I guess since it's just you and I for right this moment, I guess what we can do is we can certainly speak on some of the subjects that you want to talk about. Big up John Conway, by the way. Big up John Conway. I hope that you're well. And I just wanted to see if there's any particular moments in the game that you guys thought were kind of dodgy or thought that need to be discussed. I know that for myself, I know that there was some plays by Ibu that were definitely him towing the line of being of getting in trouble, I guess you could say. And then there was also some other aspects of the game were certainly where you had some of the players that had a little bit of redemption moments, like a particular Dominic Szoboszlai, I would say. Lallana should have seen red on the Gravenberg. I agree. That just happened. It's in the 70th minute, and that just happened as well. Let me see 1 second. I'm gonna send out the link to my compadres here, because I did give out the link, but I think some people were not a part of that conversation, or at least not part of the stream when we were backstage talking. So all the same, I thought so too. That was a really rash tackle. Really rash tackle. I thought also there was I don't know if there was another rash tackle. And let me rewind it real quick. Okay, just make my Google rewind it for me here. It was a tackle put on Gravenberg like I said, in the 70th minute. That was a pretty harsh tackle. I think it was right a little bit after the great attempt on goal by Lucho. I'm gonna again continue to put this on here, and Let's see what else. Big up Bonkers, by the way. There was there was a couple of plays though that I spoke on how Ibu avoided getting a card, or didn't avoid getting a card at one point. He definitely got the card later on, but he was definitely playing a little bit reckless, a little bit, I guess you could say. He was playing a little bit loose with some of his aggressiveness, and fortunately for us, it didn't hurt us to the extent where we went down to like 10 men or something like that. But it was certainly noticeable enough that after that one challenge, and then he made the rash challenge, and it was a very rash challenge. He just basically pushed the guy in the back. It was a case where it was like, I don't know what he was exactly thinking. But again, it was a blustery night, I guess they could say. I guess you could say, out in all right, put the link in the chat there. It was a blustery night. I know that some say this is like normal English weather and the likes and the such, but still all the same. It was a little bit of a interesting evening weather-wise for everyone, with the announcers saying how it was whatever the storm is over there that is kind of playing havoc with a little bit of the rain and the wind. Both teams had to play in those conditions though, so it's no excuse. And it's not an enjoyable it's not very enjoyable space to play in sometimes at the moment. So big up Hollywood Rock, by the way. Storm Burt. Yes, it was Storm Burt. I guess Storm Ernie is on the way. But big up to Brian, aka Laszlo, and big up to Lee as well. Big up to both of you. How you doing, Brian?
Yeah, good.
Good.
How are you?
Good.
Recovering
good.
after a long weekend, or
yeah, certainly recovering after a very long weekend. But all the same, I'm here. I'm definitely here. And
a long weekend of fun and healthy activities.
Yeah.
In case anyone is any aspersions.
Right. Fun is business and pleasure. Business and pleasure. It was work but enjoyable moments, definitely. And Lee, how are you doing today?
Excellent, mate. Yeah, good.
Good. That's what's up. Big up to the streets have arrived, by the way. The streets are here. So therefore, rest easy. Rest easy. Yeah. That's that good stuff. We'll keep it there. Yeah, definitely. Had a good weekend. Saw my Reds stay atop the league. It wasn't an easy fight, but all the same, it's something that champions are made of. So, hey, you know what? Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So that's what happened on Sunday. Also, what else is there in the chat? See people talk about my weekend. I always like to ask the question. I didn't get we ain't champions yet. Hey, we're always champions. We're always champions. It's just a matter of getting to the stage where they crown us champions, because each one of you is a champion in my book. But all the same, I always ask, what was that feel-good moment of this game? Feel-good moments of the game. Please tell me your feel-good moment in the chat as well. What was your feel-good moment for this game? What was the moment where you actually could breathe a little sigh of like, oh, that was cool. That was good to see. Brian, did you have a feel-good moment in this game? A lot of ups and downs, topsy-turvy type situations.
Oh yeah. The thing I've been making probably too much of a big deal about, but the removal of the shirt, the taking of the yellow card, because I don't think it can be overstated that that's not something a player does very often. Mm-hmm. And I think it's something you do in a big game, a winner against Man United in a cup final, it's something, whatever. You whip the top off and you swirl it around like you've just won the World Cup. I think he did that because he knew how huge that moment was. That was a really big moment in a critical period for us. And I think that just showed exactly how big he knew that goal was. And for him to do that was just like, yeah, I'm taking the yellow card for that, because that wasn't some tap in and a 2-1 win against Southampton. That was an absolutely huge goal, and he knew it.
Mhm.
And that's why he celebrated that like he'd scored a winner in a cup final, and I think for a good reason, because he realized how huge it was for us to be in a position to beat City and go 11 points clear of them.
Yeah.
And that was this game there today. I think that to me said he's on it. He knows. He realized how big this is. So yeah, it was definitely that one for me.
Okay. Lee, what was it for you?
Yeah, I like the shirt off thing myself. Like, as Red Armchair's both said, he thinks the title is on. He can smell the title. He can sense the title. And he wants it.
Watching the in the background again, the game is still playing. It's about the 74th minute, I think. This is like the third time I've watched this game. And Dominic Szoboszlai took that penalty kick, and it could have easily been said maybe it wasn't. Well, it wasn't. I shouldn't say easily. It wasn't a handball, but it hit the player. It didn't even hit the one player that went down, but it hit the player in the arm. But it was arm against his body and legs, so it wasn't. I'm not saying it's a handball, and the player went down, and then Brian and I were watching the game together, and the commentator was trying to give him praises for like going down and wasting time and man.
Yeah, the ex-pro on the co-com was just like, well, you shouldn't do it, but you shouldn't be cheating. But if you're going to cheat, that's a pretty nice cheating.
I know. Do you know who was that? By the way, do you know who that?
No idea. I couldn't place his voice. It's one of those like real. I know that guy kind of voice, but not distinctive enough to go. It's obviously
I know him, but I can't name him.
Yeah, random ex-English pro from the 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stuart Johnson or something like this,
Yeah.
But I was just like, what the hell is this guy on about,
So, he did not. He was definitely not. He's definitely not pro Liverpool. I'll tell you that much. Not that you have to be, but I'm just saying that in the commentary, it seemed like every 50-50 call maybe. He was going against it. He liked for instance, I know again they're pressing right here. It's trying to score, but the 70s. I think it was first half. Kelleher came out and they ended up calling a foul on the Southampton player. But Kelleher came out, tried to get the ball, was sliding, but then had a player going into him, like the player was actually like falling into him. Neither one really made contact with the ball, but like the commentator was like, oh, that's a foul on Kelleher. He went right into the player. It should be a foul. All the while, what you can see is the player like holding on to the defender's kit, like diving over Kelleher, like going crazy, and like I'm sitting there going like, where is this guy? What is this guy looking at? It's the same thing about the Ibu call earlier that in the match. He's going off about how it should be a foul on Ibu, and albeit Ibu did make minimal contact with the player's back. It seems like as soon as he felt the hand on the back, the guy made it over exaggeration of the push, in the sense of he went reeling as if he had gotten like Sparta kicked into the box.
Yeah, they knew that was their best chance of getting any extra goals was all that crap, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. By any means necessary, I thought that that was the mentality of Southampton's players, knowing that you're not going to get an opportunity to really outplay Liverpool. So therefore, make the most of every little call that you can. It was absolutely, yeah, it was
The one that
definitely.
Russell Martin thought was a pen on Armstrong. I mean, Kelleher got the ball when he come out. You know what I mean? The ball changed its trajectory after it, went through and it hit Kelleher. You could see the ball change trajectory. Like, so I don't know what they were about there.
Mhm.
Who was it who was supposed to have fouled Armstrong so badly there that was a pen? The woman on Match of the Day said that she went, Kelleher didn't get anything of the ball. I was like, haven't you watched the replay, love? I'm looking at it now and you can see off the ball. It changes the way it's going.
Yeah, that's the play I was just talking about. Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't shoot off to a right angle, but it does change its trajectory. Like,
yeah. Let me get some of these comments in before we start to even get into ratings and the likes. Bonkers is saying Robbo was poor. Rasta Crab, the streets have spoken, said leave Robbo alone. Let's see. There wasn't no one. Yeah, Lee, I agree with that too. There have been people saying, don't get ahead of yourselves, blah, 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 that stuff. We're top of the league, people. It's much less like there are those of us that did predict us to win this league, but there are also those of us that are trying to be humble, and the likes still are the same. When you're at the top of the league, my perception is enjoy the ride. It might be it could be long, it could be short, it could produce a favorable outcome, obviously, or even a heartbreak outcome. But all the same, when you get on the roller coaster, you don't, you go for the joy of the ride. So
that's spot on, man. When you're on a roller coaster with someone, right? Mm-hmm. Someone doesn't sit there and go, oh no, don't enjoy this bit. There's the really good bit is later.
Right.
No,
right,
it's all
right,
good. It's all
right,
good. It's all
right.
good. You enjoy the whole thing, like. And
right.
I'll say, like, Lee is spot on, because if we were 8 points behind Manchester City right now, everybody would be telling us it's done, it's finished, you're out of it. Now, I'm not here saying we're going to win the league. Even if we're 11 points ahead of City, if we beat them at Anfield next week, I won't say that's the league won. But what I'm saying is we're 11 points. We would be 11. Right now, we're 8 clear in the Premier League. When's the last time anybody was 8 points clear in the Premier League? And people were going, oh, sit down, relax now, chill out about that. You've got an 8-point lead. An 8-point lead. Do you know how many points there are to play for? Do you know how many points big clubs drop on average? Do you know the swing that has to happen for us to statistically lose that lead now? It is time to get excited. It is time to go, let's build on this. Let's make this an 11. Let's make this even 14. If they have a bad couple of games, and make this by Christmas. Yeah, people can shut up. We have won the bloody league. We're already at an 8-point. Like I said, nobody, like Lee, if we were 8 points behind City, would you be there going, shut up, City, we can still win this league? No, you wouldn't. You would not. You'd be sitting there going, yeah, we kind of yeah, they've gone and done it again, lads, playing for second.
Yep.
That's what we'd be saying. That's what everybody would be telling us. You've no chance. You're 8 behind City. You'll never catch them. So why can't we go and take this lead? Why can't we lead from the front? That's how we won it when we won it under Klopp. We were like 12 points clear around this time. We had a huge league. We held on to it and we just went with it. They didn't catch us then, and they were much better then. Why will they catch us now with the same league? It's not about being modest or being brazen or whatever. It's arrogant. It's just like, no, this is what it is. Take it and run with it. Nobody's going to catch us. Sorry, you're too far behind. Arsenal, who are they? Like, who are Arsenal right now?
No, I can understand that completely.
Chelsea's the only one I can see is giving us a run. I can see Chelsea. I can see us win it and Chelsea finish second.
Okay, wait on. Sorry, yeah. Just we did show a little still of the handball. The handball is actually being shown, or the handball just happened. The 82nd minute. I can see him still going. It hit me right here. My arm was so side. I was like, what are you talking about? Shigawa doing his best
Oh, it's
These
hilarious.
are not the droids you came. These are not the droids you're looking for. Moment.
Oh no, I love the fact that he's not contesting that he didn't handball. He's just like me.
Yeah.
Me?
It
No,
was
that was
someone
that
else.
other dude. That was
It must
that
have been someone else.
was yes. No, there was only one guy playing basketball in the penalty area about 5 yards away. Pretty sure it's you, dude, because it only happened about 4 seconds ago.
Yep.
He's just like he's looking over his shoulder and everything. Going, is there someone else? Is he pointing at someone else?
Yeah.
Oh,
Even his own
crazy.
players
That
like,
was
just
funny.
get away. People will remember that it was you. You stay around. Yeah. I agree with Red Armchair supporter saying that that certainly one player that definitely thinks the title race is on is Mohamed Salah. I think that anytime you after a penalty kick at the 83rd minute, you slot home the penalty kick and you take off your shirt at Southampton at St. Mary's Stadium is a sign that you know how important every match is. Does not matter what games you are participating in, whether you're playing a mid-table team, a lower table team, or even a part of those in contention with you. Every game counts. And I think that really radiated when he scored. He just scored the goal. He's celebrating, took his shirt off immediately. He definitely is trying to put a lot of put some of those people out there with the dad bodies or
Jesus, I'm never taking my shirt off again. I'll never take my shirt off again. Good Lord.
So,
I was like, you can have muscles there. I didn't know you could have muscles there.
Exactly. Yeah. His muscles had muscles, man.
Yeah, his ribs had muscles. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah. The comment by Ross the Crab says that wasn't a penalty. It was outside the box, and VVD messing around in the middle of the park caused that penalty or caused that situation. Okay. We'll get into the ratings. We'll certainly get into those ratings. Edward says doesn't think Mo will sign a contract after that latest interview. I think it's more so it's not a matter of him not signing the contract. I think it's more of he's just trying to play out a power move by utilizing the press. I think that it is unique.
Well, can I ask you a question? 12 minutes. Can I quickly ask you a question? Because we did a big show on this earlier on. When you were probably just before you waking up, I'd say I did the show. It was mainly about that. And there was just one question I quickly wanted to ask people. Is like, I get, like I'm told you make the move, you make the power move, first volley and all that. But do you think he would have been just maybe? I was just saying, maybe you could have kept it in the back pocket until after Madrid and City. Like it's only a week away. Mm-hmm. It's only a week away. It's just he's dropped this bomb right now in the middle of this. From your point of view, should he have maybe? Yeah, if you're going to come out and say it, but maybe next Monday, after we played City and after we played Madrid, because this is a huge thing now.
So, do
you think he could have waited? Do you think he could have waited for a week? Because we've got 2 big games. That's a big distraction. Yeah. It's a big thing.
Absolutely.
Do you think he could have waited until next Monday?
I know that Salah is very, very well media trained, and I know that he knows that there's going to have to be questions. He should. I personally think if he got asked about the question, he should have utilized. It's not like this is the last time a microphone or a camera is going to be on. Trying to ask him for his opinion. I just think that. If he had just utilized this opportunity to do the PR thing, which is to say, hey, we're just really happy that we could get the win, and
we're just chilling.
In a tough grounds. There's always tough grounds, despite the fact of where they are in the table.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, just happy that we could get this result.
Just for some background,
the most important thing for us is the next game. The contract will get settled when it gets settled, but I'm focused on winning, and that's what we did today.
But just to help you fill that out for you, it was James Pearce, and James Pearce did an interview. I was making a joke earlier on how there was like these 3 journalists standing behind a crash barrier, sticking the microphone out and going, "It's Mo Salah. He never stops." Oh, he's stopping. I was like, "Oh well, we'll ask him a question. He'll probably bat it off."
Mhm.
And then they ask him a question, and next thing you know, he's spilling the beans. They must have been there with their jaws on the floor.
Right.
This isn't a sanctioned interview. Oh, holy crap! Is he just saying what I think he's saying? He just walked over. It turns out it was James Pearce. Now there was 3 people there asking questions, but it was James Pearce was one of them, and he said he's been there in the mix zone. He said Mo doesn't stop. He doesn't, right? And the other guy there, Cy Hughes, who's just wrote a book about Mo, they've done an athletic pod tonight. It's very good. He said, I've been to maybe 300 games where Mo has walked through the mix zone, and maybe twice in 300 games Mo has stopped. Once was after the Champions League final, and once was after a big performance against Manchester United, I think he said.
Okay.
He said Mo literally never stops in the mix zone. And he stops and he comes walking over. And they're like, wow, okay. This doesn't happen. Like twice in 300 games, the guy stopped. And it was, like you said, the usual then, oh, it's great to win, blah, 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 blah. So now he's come out and basically given them the story of the season, the football story of the season. For them. I think it's crazy. They must be there and going, did he? We all heard that, right? He just said that, yeah?
Right.
Like, not a sanctioned interview, not a scheduled thing, just, yeah, I'll stop, I'll talk. Oh, my contract. Yeah, I'll tell you the whole thing. I was like, what? Okay.
I was surprised when you told me that's where this has come from. Yeah, that came from Mo himself. It is unlikely.
Yeah, just walking back to the team coach. Stops for a minute. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'll tell you everything. So
again, that's why I'm surprised by this, because he's normally media trained that he understands that those questions and kind of comments are only going to be, locker room material now. It's going to be, headlines that get posted or questions that his teammates are going to have to answer. Well, how do you feel about Mo Salah maybe saying that, that he's not, it's like questions that you don't want to deal with, questions that are unnecessary at this moment. And that part,
so would you have left it till after City? Because I would have.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think it was just a week too early because there's no need for directly after the game. Big game against Madrid, whatever, but that game against City is so big, and now it didn't have to wait a month, but it could have waited a week.
Keep the pressure on them by keep the pressure on them about their form and about them and the likes. Let them have to answer the stupid questions.
We're the story.
Now that one headline is going to be a part of the narrative. It's a part of
eating up the whole thing.
Right.
Eating up all the energy.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where how many times did Henderson get interviewed after games, right? And he gets interviewed after games, and they ask him maybe a leading question, and he'll just say, "Oh well, the same answer that he said probably the week before," which is, we're just concentrating on the next game. It's the most important game in front of us. Is the next game, and we're happy to get this win. We're happy to get this result, and then let's keep it moving. I know that it's a nothing burger. Yeah, I know it's a nothing burger. That is
someone's advised.
That is something that
obviously somebody's advised.
This was a volley. This was an opening shot. This was a volley. This was shots fired now. Basically, no one was expecting it to come from here.
Right? Yeah, because you got to be kidding me to think that.
Media training.
You got to be kidding me to think that no representative of Liverpool has approached Salah's agent and said, hey, this is what we want, or this is what we can offer, or anything like that. You're absolutely out of your mind. That definitely has.
Well, he used the language that way. Basically, what he said was, when you read into it, because they had the other quote that came with the interview that was, it's from the journalist saying that FSG feel they've had positive talks with Remy Abbas. And so what Mo has said is basically saying, well, you didn't ask me, have they talked to my agent? So he's not even saying that about his agent. What he said is he hasn't been offered a contract, which is true. They may well have talked to his agent, but what he's saying is no contract has been offered to me. It's just, so it's a bit of, play on how to phrase it that way. But yeah, maybe they have talked to Remy Abbas, but he's saying they haven't offered me a contract. I've had nothing. And he said, I'm disappointed. And I think the point he keeps making about it being December, he's saying it's December now, it's December. He's pointing out that on the 1st of January, he can sign a pre-contract agreement with someone. So he can't believe it's getting to this kind of level. So yeah, it is shot. I think this is just the first kind of, okay,
It
let's
is
throw a hand grenade out
probably,
here or a cat amongst the pigeons and get a light of fire under somebody's arse and get a deal done. Basically, is the way I'm looking at it. But
And
the
I get the whole
timing to
quote. I
me,
get the whole quote.
not
Like
brilliant.
Tyler's putting the quotes by him in the chat, and I get that the comments could sound like, he's saying I haven't received anything yet about his future.
He's trying to play it a little.
Now
he's
playing it as in, his agent. As an agent, you're only going to bring realistic offers or offers that are already been determined as realistic between you and your client. You and your client have a number in your head as to where and what it is that you will settle on. Okay, and you might even have a compromise number, or how you might have a bottom line number that you even spoke on, but you might have a pie in the sky number that you spoke on. Okay, but somewhere in the middle, maybe you compromise or the likes, right? You speak on that. Your agent goes and he talks to the powers that be, and the powers that be said, "This is offer A. Okay, that's not in our ballpark. I'm not even going to my client and telling them that. Here's offer B. Still not where I want to be. And you start to you get all these offers, and until you have an offer that is worth talking about, that's when you approach your client. You don't bring them BS. Hold a lot of the cards are in your hands. So why would you talk to your client about that stuff? I'm trying to say it's like one of those. I'll land here. It's one of those statements where I think it's factually true. Most likely factual.
Exactly.
I'm not calling Salah a liar at all. But what I am saying is that it's not completely honest in the sense of there have been offers. I'm almost absolutely positive that there's
100%. 100%. I think what you're saying is right. Like Salah will know what A, B, and C offer has been, but what he is saying is factually true. Is they haven't written up a contract and said, "Here's a contract we want you to sign."
Mm-hmm.
But this guy Cy Hughes, that's just written a book about Salah. He was doing a pod tonight on The Athletic, and he was saying basically outside of his family, his wife and his kids, Remy Abbas is basically is the closest person in his life. He's like a brother more than any of his friends. Remy Abbas is literally is Mo Salah's brother. They are that close. Mm-hmm. So he said he knows everything. Mm-hmm. Salah will know absolutely everything. So I think it's the semantics of it. He's saying, yes, they haven't put a contract on the table in front of him that he can sign. Right. But he will know they've offered this, they've offered that. So it's interesting that he's come out and decided to play the first kind of, the first volley, the first attack shot.
Right.
And put FSG on the back foot because to me, it sounds like he wants to stay. That's the most important thing. It sounds to me like he wants to stay.
Absolutely.
It's not like he's out here playing silly beggars.
No, it couldn't be much clearer, really, from what he said there, could it? I love the club. I love the fans love me, but it's not up to us, is it? He couldn't make it much clearer, really, could he?
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any doubt about that, is there?
No, I agree.
He wants to be here. He wants to stay. So,
and that's a testament
of in your court. Every ball is in your court.
Right. Again, that's a testament of a lot of different things. With the club, it's also a testament of the heritage. A testament with his pursuit of silverware. Testament of his pursuit of the opportunities to get more records. Yeah,
all them records.
It's a testament of his appreciation and love from Liverpool fans and even some fans outside of Liverpool consorts. So yeah, it's really all those things piled in together. Let's see, and I can understand the frustrations. As well. Abdul's asking, what do you think about Robertson, Konate, and Nunez's performances? We shall definitely get into that, into the ratings a little bit deeper, probably, but it's a mixed bag there that you just brought about three players that it's almost like the Goldilocks situation, like with the three different interpretations. Let's see, what else is there in the chat? And I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I get that what Trapjoe's trying to say. Sissel is basically saying he's been disrespected by the management despite all his achievements with the club. I don't know if he's. I get that he might be having a very strong view and everything else, but again, it's one of those cases where like there's just a right way to go about it. You know, you know, it's. I know that you want to get yourself a contract that gets you not only the money but also the years that you would like to get involved in your deal. And there are those out there that says, "Oh, just give him whatever he wants." That's not realistic.
There was 12 months. Did you think there was one that like it stuck to me because they offered him the first question, and they got an answer out of him, and like I was saying, they're probably a bit stunned that he gave him that answer. And then, like, he didn't just walk off. So then there was like another reporter kind of went, "Oh fuck, so tell me more," basically, and he told more. And then I think there was another. I think she was a female reporter. A female reporter asked, like, "Are you disappointed?" Like, kind of getting into the media. He's like, "Yeah, I am disappointed that I haven't been offered a contract."
Mhm.
Like, he was offering kind of side jabs as well. That was real kind of like that was a play to the fans. It's like, yeah, I am disappointed that they haven't offered me this deal. It's not like, no, I'm cool, I'm sure it's going to happen. It's like, it feels, this has kind of hurt you a little bit, basically. Yeah, I do feel hurt by the fact that they haven't offered me a deal.
Right.
So he was kind of loading on a little bit there as well. So it wasn't just go, no, like, again, because he can say factually, yeah, I have not been offered a contract. Like, they might be 2 days away from offering him one. But yesterday, yes, factually, he has not been offered one. So that would be true, right? But I think the fact he added in the little bit about, oh yeah, I am disappointed not to have been offered one. I think that's like a little kind of, like I said, trying to light a fire under somebody's backside, as we say, to get them moving. Like, come on, let's get something working. But yeah, it like you said, this has taken all of the energy out of it, isn't it? Great win, and now everyone's talking about this. Now it's all about this.
I see you, Edward. I see you, Edward. I think Edward's trying to poke the bear a little bit.
Is there a bear? Oh, Dom is we'll get into it. We'll get into the ratings.
Right. Bernie says she's concerned there has been no media comments from Edwards, Ward, or Hughes or FSG for months about anything that she knows of. Everything seems dead at the club. I think that we all know that Edwards, especially, but Ward, who is certainly like the Robin to Edwards Batman, and Hughes, equally so. And there's a reason why Edwards chose Hughes, particularly. And that is because those three individuals, or Edwards specifically, has always worked in the shadows, in the sense of there's so many deals that we've seen be given out, and us be not even deals, but deals or even transfers where we had no idea that transfer was about to unfold, and all of a sudden we're watching a press conference. So Liverpool, I certainly will say, is one of the more held cards to the chest type club. They don't really there's not that many real leaks that get put out there unless they want the leaks to get out there somewhat. And they do a phenomenal job of keeping that secret, because if that was the case, we've all been told that Klopp spoke about leaving summertime, practically around there. In the summer, if not in the year, he was already still talking about possibly leaving. And for us to have found out in springtime shows that it is not exactly.
He said it in November. Yeah. Oh, when he said it to him, he said it happened at the November meeting when they were doing the planning for the next season coming up. He said that was the meeting when he realized I couldn't do it anymore. So so he basically quit to them kind of in the November. And it came out in that interview. I think that was like late January or something, early February, late January. So it had been known at the club, for 3 or 4 months. Like for something like that to be out there for 5 minutes and not get kind of reported was kind of impressive. But to keep it under hat for that long, I know JK doesn't agree a lot with that, and I know I don't want to, but again,
Yeah,
to
we're
me,
not trying
think,
again. We're not trying
no,
to cut that bear either. Yeah.
I just think the club. I mean, the club literally turned around and said, "November, do you know what, boys? This is going to be my last year here." And we got to the point where we were going to have to be looking for a new manager and looking to bring in new players, basically. And they'd be like, "Oh, cool! I can't wait to play for Mr. Klopp." And we'd be like, yeah. By the way, you won't be." If we were looking at people coming in, and so it would have gotten out. Agents, fucking Fabrizio Romano is going out there telling who's going to win the Ballon d'Or. You think he wouldn't have found out about this and reported it? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I just think that's the way it worked. But again, other people are entitled to their view, and I could be being a sheep and just believe in the media version of it. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
the way I read it anyway. But I just think this is an interesting one now in terms of like you were saying, we don't need these kind of bad media stories at a time like this. We just need
Mhm.
good, I was calling it earlier on badly run club type stuff. This is kind of
Mhm.
stuff you expect at Manchester United or Chelsea, big players out of contract and, stuff going on the front page and the back pages. No, we need to get this stuff sorted out and locked down and just go about our business properly, because we've been, like you just said, like one of the best run clubs in, I'd say, Europe for the last 10 years at least,
Yeah.
without barely missing a beat. And this is
Yeah.
not very Liverpool. This is what I'm saying. We have been that, but Trent on a free, Virgil on a free, Mo on a free. This is not very FSG. This is not very Liverpool. We need to get back to being a tightly run ship, because this isn't really us. Because all this stuff we're talking about with Mo, you times it by 3, because there's 2 other guys in this scenario. Trent, just as big a player, and Virgil. We don't just have one guy that could come out to the media tomorrow and cause a bombshell or cause a storm by giving an interview. We got 2 of them. Trent could come out tomorrow and go, like you said, now they're like, "So what do you think about Mo's comments about not getting an offer from the club?"
Yeah.
And Trent
Oh,
could
it's
go,
going to be
"Yeah,
out. It's
yeah."
going
So
as we
Trent could
get
go,
closer to
"Yeah,
Real
me
Madrid.
neither.
It's
Yeah,
one of those
me
cases
neither."
where, like, again, Trent, I get it. Trent's a vice captain. Trent's obviously a very, very important face for Liverpool. But it's one of those cases where I don't want to see him make locker room material for either our club situation or with our own players. Something that you don't, you tend to not want other players to comment on other players' contracts. That has nothing to do with you. Speaking on other people's money is not your job. So, like, that's the last thing you want to do, and that's something that as a player you don't want to have happen, because if anything you're going to have a conversation with, like, what are you doing, man? you know why are you speaking on why are you trying to speak on my behalf on like, security for my family? you know I don't need you to do that. Anyways, I did see something in the chat building about about Elliot. I see that. That's what I said to Poke the Bear, about how Edward thinks Elliot will start playing more instead of Dom. Look, we have to wait and see. Allow for that to develop, I believe, is the best way I would put it there. When it comes to Elliot, I'm very, very optimistic as to what he's going to bring on the pitch. Obviously, he's coming back from injury, so let's just get him healthy enough so that he can get out there and contribute, period. Whether it's in a substitute role or even as a starter, that's neither here nor there for me right now. I'm just interested in getting him to a place where we can consistently rely on him. And also, if that means in the meantime, Dominic continues to grow in confidence, continues to grow in understanding his role as a 10, then more power to Dom. And I hope that it continues, because that only means success for our club. So I'm not necessarily bothered whether Elliot or Dom start. I just want the best player to start at the 10 role for us. And hopefully Slot has that in mind, who it's going to be. I didn't get to introduce also, by the way, Nolante has joined us as well. And my apologies, it was very rude of me to allow for Nolante to join and not introduce them. So let me bring Nolante to the front of the stage here so he can say hello to the people and also give a shout if he can. I see he's still on mute, so I'm just let's see. He's ready. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, all good, 12, Brian. No, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Just continue the conversation. That's fine. I've just been trying to sort things out here, so that's fine. Yeah, big up the chat as always. Some of them are on Brian's stream, so check out now. Tell a friend to tell a friend. So yeah, we're getting for the more cracks of things. So yeah, big up everyone, and Leo also always.
Yeah. So were the reports false about Elliot disrespecting Chiesa? Sometimes not
I
sure.
haven't seen apparently. Yeah, this is the first time I've seen this, man.
Apparently, Elliot says stuff about him. Not sure if it was true. I have not heard that, by the way, about anything. That does not sound like doesn't sound like Harvey Elliott at all.
No,
it's a load of rubbish, man. What kind of story nonsense is this? It's a load of crap. Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say. And two, not only does it not sound like Harvey Elliott, why would Harvey Elliott, try to throw Chiesa under the bus?
Doesn't make any sense, does it?
Yeah, I don't know. If you can get further, if you get some further clarity on that, Cedric, that'd be great. As for what I know, I haven't heard anything like that. I haven't seen anything. You know how I like to check the news always. I wake up, my actual Google tells me Liverpool news. So in case I missed it during my slumber. So I have not seen anything about Elliot saying those things. Appreciate that, Irishman. Definitely appreciate that shout. So we didn't get your feel-good moment though, Nolante. Did you have a feel-good moment that you wanted to include before we start rocking and rolling with some of the ratings and maybe even getting into possibly the They Said What segment that I've been wanting to have for quite some time now? Nolante is still on mute, so I guess Nolante, we'll wait for Nolante to come back. And maybe he'll give us a little bit of insight as to what was his feel-good moment. I think
did we get a feel-good moment from the chat? I don't think we did.
I think there were some out there. It was very early in the conversation. I saw some people say something. So I'll rewind it.
Well, the Hilo was bringing up a few things. Real Madrid are without Vinny Jr.
That is correct.
They've announced their squad. There's no Chimene in the squad.
As of right now, what is the Vinny Jr. Exact? What is his exact injury? Does anyone know?
Red Armchair is saying he put mine down. He put his down as Graves' pass.
Yeah, that's something. I was just reminding that too there. Yep, he did say that early. Graves' pass was a great.
Won't be facing Vinicius Jr.
Also, Mo Salah's first touch probably was probably a feel good moment for a lot of people because that was a great pass, but it was like one of those things that had to be immediately, like right on the button, and grabbed it and made a really beautiful pass that way. But it also meant that the touch had to be great. He kind of trapped it with his foot or his cleats and was able to control it enough to be able to guide it towards goal. That was a great first touch. Anyone else? I thought there was one other one that was in the chat.
Yeah, Bonkers got one there.
Okay, he brought it back up. This feel good moment is going 8 points clear of City. Yeah,
it's pretty tasty.
That's pretty. Yeah, easy enough said. Yeah, for certain. Left thigh so is it something that is confirmed that he'll be out for the game, or is it one of those Arteta specials where where it's like, he's I think he's injured. He's out practicing.
3 weeks. Oh, they're saying he's out. Okay. Well, that's good. So, well, I mean, not good, but
we understand.
Definitive.
It's
definitive.
Right. So, I hope that
they'll just play Mbappe there instead. That's cool. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not like they're scraping by to figure out who's going to play.
It would be quite funny if they did start cry-arsing about having players out. That would be very funny.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it wouldn't be a segment if we, with Liverpool, if we didn't discuss something that was a hot topic somewhat in some of the content creation circles. And that was the Michael Oliver VAR decision that allowed for them to get the pen. I personally, again, I know Lee spoke on it a little bit. I personally don't think that it was a pen. I don't think that it didn't look like his foot was touching the line. It looked like there was some type of green in between, especially when you can see his foot. You can see his foot be placed down, and you can still see green in front of it. Personally, that's just what I saw. But
if there's green in between.
Yeah, if there's green in between. Yeah, that's right. But it's not too surprising that the Manchester, I believe Michael Oliver's from Manchester.
It was a weird decision, though, wasn't it, as well? It was like, we can't conclusively say that the ref made a decision, so we can't intervene. It was just like, what the fuck? Like, it was strange. It's sort of like, I don't know. Like, even as I don't know, if I was
at the end of the day, the ref didn't have
Arsenal fan, I'd be like, that's not a penalty.
They did.
Yeah, I just couldn't see. As soon as you saw that side on angle, it was like, well, that's outside the box. And it was, we couldn't quite see if enough of his foot was inside the box. It's like, what the hell are these guys talking about?
Yep. Yeah, I didn't understand that one completely, but they went. I mean, it was long enough for them to look for quite some time, and then it was long enough for them to not say, "Hey, ref, why don't you have a look at this?" And see from a different perspective or angle if that was what you saw. I've seen worse where they allow for where they'll just show the still, they'll have the still image sitting there waiting for you when you walk up, and they don't even put the video on. They just start it from there. So
that was the weird thing, though. That's what I'm saying. It's like they were saying we couldn't ask him to go to the screen because we can only ask him to go to the screen if it's clear and obvious. And we couldn't see anything that said it was clear and obvious. It was like, what about the video you just watched?
Yeah.
It's like, it was so bizarre. It's like, no, we can't even ask him to go. So what they were saying was, basically, there wasn't enough evidence for us to overrule on the pitch. Okay, right, whatever.
Nonsense, that, isn't it?
Whatever.
Nonsense.
Bernie's saying on Ref Watch, they said Robbo hit his inner thigh too, and the line belongs to the goalie. Okay.
I think she might have hit a typo there.
Is it the momentum taking it in the box that the ref gives it? I don't think that should be considered. And if it is going to be considered, then the ref should take a look at it and decide that's.
What was the question there?
Is it the momentum taking it in the box that?
No.
That why?
No, it's contact. It's contact. It's point of contact. It has to be point of contact.
Right. And the
it's not about where he might have ended up.
So, right.
Yeah.
So if the point of contact is outside the box, then that's where the foul should be given. Not that the foul was he fouled him outside the box, it continued on, and then he and then fell over and inside the box, and that's where you give it. No, that's not the case. If you add up the value of the players that are out for Real Madrid, how much is that worth? Hence what he's saying. This is high lore. Keeping players fit and rotated the right way is more worth than any new signing.
Because he just put it in there. They're going to be without Rodrigo. So what's that? 80 million. Lucas Vasquez, like 40. Chimeni, 70. Militao, 50, 60. Carvajal, nothing. Too old. And David Alaba, maybe 20. So 16. It's yep. Most people wouldn't be able to absorb those kind of players out, but Madrid can.
Yep.
So
Very
no
nice.
sympathy here for them.
Yep. There was other thing too. Someone says, I saw Max say it was all waffle and Vinicius is out. Yes, he is. However, we're going to get into these ratings because, with our back line and the performance that we had against Southampton, that performance by that back line cannot do a repeat level of intensity and commitment against a Real Madrid. That's just simply with the Vinicius Jr. or without a Vinicius Jr. That back line cannot have the kind of performance that they had on yesterday. They just can't happen. So
We'll lose if they do.
Say again.
We'll lose if they do.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it will be a painful loss to lose to Real Madrid at Anfield.
How desperate are they for the points, Madrid?
Madrid do need the points, by the
Yep.
way. They
That's a
definitely
fact.
need the points.
That's a fact. Yep. They kind of could do with them.
Yeah. I'll give you actually, you know what? I can just go through here. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you what they need. Real Madrid currently sit in second place, 4 points behind Barcelona in La Liga. And they sit in 18th place currently with 4 matches played. They sit in 18th place with 6 points so far accumulated in their Champions League run. Remember that the top 24 teams get places in this competition. They're in 18th place. So they are not only in 18th place, obviously by goal differential, but the other from 17 to 24. So the other 7 teams all sit on, there's 7 teams sitting on 6 points right now. Now the Bayern Munich, Benfica, AC Milan, Feyenoord, who do play City, by the way, in the Champions League, Club Brugge, Atletico Madrid, and PSV. PSV sits on 5 points, but Atletico Madrid actually is on 6 points. So it's 6 teams that are all sitting on 6 points.
Want to be in the top 8.
They could lose to us and still go through, couldn't they? Like, it's not a do or die for them. But
they'll go through.
They'll go through one way
It's
or
all
another.
about whether you want to go, but you want to be in the top 8, so you don't have to go through the qualifying round. The top 8 goes straight through.
Right.
Everyone from 8 to, like what you're saying, is 24.
Or everyone from 9.
Sorry, 9.
Yeah, from 9 to 24.
Yeah, they have to play 2 extra games.
Right.
And then qualify. So you want to be in that top 8, and then you just sit back and relax and watch everybody else do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they'll want to be.
It could be as simple as well as too. They also don't want to be in this position like a PSG currently is. For instance, PSG is sitting on 4 points in 25th place. They would be eliminated from the Champions League. That would be something to say that a team like PSG, one of the top teams from France, doesn't move on. So, and again, PSG is on 4 points. Real Madrid is on 6. A loss to Real Madrid and a win by PSG. All of a sudden, Real Madrid is looking, out rather than in. That's they'll get in one way or another. I think they'll figure out a way. This format is definitely formulated so that the smaller teams or the smaller teams in this competition have a chance of getting into that next round, but it is certainly formulated so that the bigger teams have ample opportunities to assure themselves moving on, because obviously UEFA wants the big names to be a part of the competition so that they can get eyes on the television screens. So let's just keep it 100.
Football in a nutshell, right there.
Football in a nutshell. Let us begin a little something here too. So, If there's nothing else, is there anything else about the game? Some of the finer points that you wanted to bring up before we start to bring up our interpretations of how the players played?
No, cool. All right.
All right.
Lee, unless Lee. So
Lee, do
into
you have
the
something
ratings.
that you? Or Nalante's back with us too. Do you guys have
Oh, no.
anything you wanted to say before we rock and roll?
Yeah, no. No, it should move on, yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's go.
What
Let's
everyone's here for,
All
the
right.
ratings.
Let's the ratings. Yes, we're all just like, it's just all a countdown to player of the match. That's basically what it is. So let us begin. First off, let us begin with our keeper, Mr. Kelleher. I thought Kelleher had a good game, by the way. Had a good game, not exceptional game, but had a good game. Made a couple difficult save. Made a really good save actually against the Southampton's attempts. Really, really good save. It ended up hitting his body more so than him making the saves with his hands. But that's your job. It doesn't matter what part of your body you get in front of the shot. You have to block it. That's the most important thing. And that's
make yourself big.
Yep. So, what are we doing with Kelleher? I see people are already. Whoops, my fault. Already rating Kelleher in there. Gave a little peek at my rating for him. Bonkers 65, Max 83. Armchair supporter is giving him 86, 80 from High Lord, 80 from Red for Life. What is your rating for Kelleher? Bernie gave him an 80. Okay.
Another 80.
Everyone's giving Kelleher. That's pretty high ratings considering he did concede technically 2 goals. That's still kind of high, I thought. But let's hear what you have to say. Bonkers is a little bit closer to where I got him. I wouldn't have gotten to those 60s, but what was your rating for him, Nalante? What's your rating for Kelleher? Let's see. What was your rating for Kelleher?
Yeah, it's like you said. I think it's a weird one. I mean, I don't think he was exceptional. I thought he was good though. Again, the goals, the penalty, which shouldn't be given. He was unlucky. Sometimes if he pushes it to the left or right, then he's unlucky. He's one of those ones. And then the second one, I would say, if I had a little bit of criticism, I think he could have at least anticipated a bit better. But again, maybe it's for bad direction. He didn't really do much wrong in terms of crosses. He made 1 or 2 other good saves. Yeah, 70 for me. 70.
Okay. How about for you, Lee?
I'd give it 82.
Okay. Simple said. Irishman, how about for you?
Yeah, I think he made he had to bring out a bit of a goalkeeper's performance yesterday in terms of just having to be, on the spot, like you said with that one was a reaction. Say, you do what you're taught to do, make yourself as big as possible. It hits you.
Mm-hmm.
Penalty save was good. Unfortunate it goes back where it goes, but again, saved it in the first mark. But yeah, I suppose he did really well, but then you also had the goals. But I think we were a bit all over the place the second one. So I'll give him a 70. I'll say 70.
Okay. I had him at a 73. A lot of 80s in the chat.
Oh, he got a lot of high scores. 80, 83, yeah. 86, 80, 80.
Let me do this. I am going to give him a. Oops. This down. I am going to have a little peek at my possibly even my rating for the next player, Virgil. But I am going to give him. I'll bump him up to a 76. That sounds fair, I think. All the 80s. There were some 65s, a couple of 70s in there, but I think you still got to recognize that he did. He did. It was the penalty. The penalty goal was kind of unfortunate. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, that guy that we were talking about earlier, he was the one.
How about for
Sorry. Oh, no, no, I was just saying the guy we were talking about earlier on. He was the one guy.
Okay, go ahead.
That what was his name? The commentator guy that we're talking about earlier. He was the one guy that criticized Callagher for the penalty saves. Oh, he's like, oh, he should have done better there. He should have made sure it went somewhere else. It was like, come on, man. Like, I get that, like with a shot or something. It's like an easy shot, and you push it back into the play. It's like, no, you could have pushed that away. But it was that one COCOM was going on. Oh no, it was kind of saying, oh, it was his fault that he didn't get rid of it properly, as well as just saving the penalty.
No, he's unlucky.
Like, come on, he was unlucky. Totally.
The rebound.
That could have gone anywhere. That could like not anywhere, but if it moves like 2 inches further, it hits him on a different part of his arm and it goes out. It just happened to go right back to where. And sometimes that happens. But yeah, it was that one guy who was just like, yeah, that was really bad goalkeeping. He just saved the penalty.
Yep.
High standards.
Yeah. Stuart Nobody or whoever it was, or Johnny Nobody.
I'm gonna find out who it was. I'm gonna find out before we leave the show. I'll find out who it was. How about for
probably failed a trial at Anfield as a 12-year-old. We'll find that out now.
As good as maybe so. Let's get on to Virgil van Dijk, our captain.
Big Virgil.
Yeah, big Virgil. Newcastle West Ham is 0-0 so far. Thank you, Bonkers, for that update. Great.
Has that just kicked off, or is that near? No, it must have just kicked off.
It just kicked off.
Yeah.
It's Monday night.
Yeah.
What were you guys feeling about Virgil? I know that the streets brought out the fact that the actual penalty that was called on Robbo was a result of. I think that's the way he's saying. It was a result of Verge. I think he
went a bit walkabout. He went on a little bit of a wander, and got caught up the pitch a little bit, basically, which is why Robbo was in that kind of left centre half position. So I think that's probably what he was mentioning. I didn't see his comment, but I know he did. Virgil went on a bit of a wander.
Check that. West Ham up 1-0, by the way.
Kudus?
Yes, as we speak. I don't know who scored.
No, he's suspended, Bri. He's back in the next game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, still suspended.
Packet of crisps?
Packet of crisps.
Yeah. Yes, the penalty was actually from Virgil giving the ball away. Yeah, I think it was kind of, you watched it twice. You're saying you've seen it twice. And so, he went on a little wander up front, or through midfield, didn't he?
Yeah,
they broke on us, and then the guy
that was Dibbling. Further up in the progression play. Yeah.
Souček dangerous from corners and that, isn't he?
Yeah, let me see what it was. It was
a header from a corner. There you go.
Yeah, from Emerson. All right then. 1-0 is their score currently in that game. I'm sure that's a riveting game of Newcastle versus West Ham. I'm sure that's worth the watch if you were not watching this, and that's why you're here. So appreciate everyone that is. And if you are tuning into that, or if you have tuned to it, I'm sure we will see you back pretty soon, because this is certainly more riveting than that. So let's get on with Virgil. 65, 68, 65 from Red for Life, 68 from High Lord, 65 from Max, 68 from Bernie, 68, 62 for Red Armchair Supporter. Ooh, this might be one of Virgil's lowest scores. I've seen him get this season so far. What was your rating for him? Let's begin with Lee this time. Lee, what was your rating for him? 63 from
Virgil, I'll give him 65.
65. Okay.
It was a shaky performance from the defense as a whole.
Mm-hmm. How about for you, Irishman?
Yeah. To be honest, I think he had a bad game. I think he had a bad game, man.
By his standards,
yeah. Oh, by his standards, yeah.
yeah.
But I think he actually had a bad game by a lot of standards. And I do think he did get caught out there, because that was one of the points that guy made in the thing that I did agree with.
Mm-hmm.
He got a bit overconfident, and Robbo ends up there. So I'm going to go 50, 57,
Oh, wow.
57, 57. Yeah, I didn't think he had a good game.
Okay. I had him at a 68, but Nolante, what was your rating for him?
Virgil, yeah, echo what everyone says. He was the best out of a bad bunch in the defense. 64.
Okay. I okay, got you. Your rating is.
I think a 12-man 68 is an Irishman 57. I think we literally gave him the same mark.
Yeah, I would. If it was a grade, I'd say he like 70s for me are C grades, 80s are B grades, 90 are A grades.
But I always go lower. But I mean, you giving him a 68, me giving him a 57. I think we're both saying the same thing pretty much.
Yeah. On that is you just have to do the American to the European curve type thing, grading curve there. I gave him a 60. I saw a lot of 60s in the chat.
I don't even mean it on a mathematical bit. I just mean in the spirit of the rating, in terms of we both thought he had a bad game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think this is one of his better games. 65, 68. Yeah, there was a bunch of 65, 68, 60, 65, 68. 65, 68 in the chat. I'll just stick with the 68.
Definitely allowed it, Max. Definitely allowed to be poor.
Yeah, agreed, Max. Good play, Max. Yeah, definitely.
Because he stands out when he has a bad game. I mean, like I said, this is by most of the standards, I think he got a slightly off game. Virgil is 88, 85, 90 most games.
Yeah. Mary,
the Prince 100.
Yeah.
We know.
Stacking the deck there. How about for Ibu? Now, if you thought Virgil had a bad game, I did not think that Ibu had a good game either, to be honest with you.
No, bit of a brain melt moment with the big lad Onuachu.
Yeah,
I thought that was really, like, when you saw from behind, it looked like a kind of a, oh, look at this guy, trying to win a foul off. It was like, no, Ibu, like, you literally just pushed him over. Stupid. Like, we're 20 minutes in, and you've obviously been rattled a little bit by this guy. Now he went off eventually, but that was, and there was a couple other moments. So I give Ibu a 48.
Okay. How about for you, Nolante? What would you give Ibu in this game?
I'm going to be honest. If Kwanzaa was taken off at Ipswich the first half of the season for Ibu should have been taken off. He was absolutely poor.
You said that when we were watching the game. Nolante, you said that when we were watching. You said, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes Ibu off at halftime.
Yeah.
You did say that yesterday.
That's a good shout.
And again, he's not like he improved in the second half. He's still doing it. And one thing, Ibu, he's just getting back to some of his moments. He does these little clumsy things in the box. And probably don't want to penny, but at some point, he's not going to get away with it. He really needs to sort that out.
He's going to eradicate that from his game.
Yeah, because he's getting us into some tight decisions. Yeah, and one of these days he's going to get. He was poor. If, like I said, man, I don't know, Joey. Look. I know it's easy for me to say.
Nolante, quickly just add, knowing already that Bradley was on a yellow, knowing that Bradley was already on a yellow.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, bro. And look, it's easy for me to say this because I'm a fan, but let's be real. Joey had an excellent performance when he came on, 45 minutes, and mate, he should have come on. But I'm sure he will start, but he's a bit lucky if I'm honest. So 40 for me. He was absolutely poor.
40.
Yeah.
40.
Okay. Lee?
I give it
Interesting.
Virgil 65, so I'll give Ibu a 50. I'll give him a 50.
Wow, I'm gonna have to definitely bring down my score for Ibu. All right.
No
'Cause I
shock
think
there.
only Red for Life or let's see, anyone else? Anyone else? Nope. Everyone else gave him in the 50s. I actually had Ibu at a 62. I did have him at a poor rating for this game, but I guess we'll have to bring him into
the danger zone.
50. Yeah, the danger zone. 55, I guess.
Yeah, Nolante went hard there.
Yeah.
Halo is saying you nearly, whatever, but you, yeah, I think someone said all the bozo moments all came back. But
Yeah. I know. I'm blunt. I don't mess about. Ilya.
I didn't think. I just thought, yeah, that was a. Oh God, Hilo, don't say that. Jeez, there was no need for that, man. There was no need for that follow up, Hilo. I just really disappointed in how quickly he lost his head against that guy. Oh Jesus, I didn't. That was no pun intended. Actually, he lost his cool against that guy. It's the first time he gone up against him. He's just giving yourself a yellow, and Bradley's already on a yellow. Come on, man, just calm down here. Okay, he's a big lad, but yeah, it's like Virgil the other day.
Suddenly decide to push somebody to the ground. Sometimes he's somebody right to the line, and it's going to be a corner, a goal kick, and he'll just push out.
No, he needs to put that under control. I think maybe also it's the weird situation where sometimes, if not most of the times, that is allowed. It's loosely allowed in the Premier League. Maybe not so much. Maybe in the Champions League, they might be a little bit more tougher and stringent with the calls. The way it goes.
I think there's now players are always going to go down because of VAR.
Yeah, because of VAR, because of the way that some of these guys do act with the antics. It was more so, I think, with that one call that was very, very close to being called a foul as well. But when he had his hand on his back and he pushed him, people will say, "Hey, that's a foul."
The first penalty shout.
Yeah,
that looked clumsy.
That was clumsy. He got in front of him. Yeah. He allowed for him to get in front of him, but it wasn't like the player had no intentions of getting to the ball after that. As soon as he felt
very like the Watkins one. It was very like the Watkins one, wasn't it? It was in exactly the same area of the pitch as the Watkins one.
Yeah. The one where he just blatantly pushed the guy with two hands, that's a different story. That
was, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah. Rather than just try to extend the
he lost his head a bit there.
Just leaning into him.
Leaning into him. He was shoulder to shoulder with him. He didn't have to turn and push him. That was
that was like something you see on a school ground. That's like you don't do that after you're like 12.
Yeah. Maybe
like,
he might have said something about him or something like that. Like they say, you have a bad name.
Yeah, he just got rattled. You could tell they were rattled. That just tells me he rattled Konate. He rattled him with his size and with his probably his first touch and his ability, as we saw earlier on or later on, with the way he turned and dumped a few players. But Connor Bradley, the first guy on a yellow.
Connor Bradley, first one on a yellow, was a poor tackle by Connor Bradley. It was a yellow worthy call and card. offense, and it was silly. It was silly, and was
I thought the
I thought it was unnecessary too. He didn't have to.
Myself, I didn't think it was that bad, Bradley's. I thought the reaction by the Southampton player and like flying.
Sold it more. You think it sold it? Yeah. I thought it was a bad tackle, and I thought that like you're going to get a yellow card in that every day, any day, pretty much. Connor is trying to. It's interesting because there's those out there that wanted Connor Bradley as the starting right back for us, sometimes even over Trent, because of his defensive prowess. I definitely would like to see Connor step up this game. That was a poor moment. It wasn't exactly his. It wasn't like that was a definition of his game. He did step it up at points, and he did play.
It wasn't an easy game for him because both his centre halves had an off day, so it wasn't an easy game for him as a young player. You know what I mean? Away from home, both his centre halves have an off day.
It was difficult. I mean, there was the part and point where they scored the second goal, and I know Robbo was covering on that side. He tried to get in front of the shot, and then but you also had Ibu and Connor both, just hustling back to try to get into position, create numbers. And when they were hustling back and trying to they overextended, went too far as well. And when the player cut it back, it was like he just pushed 3 players of Liverpool to his left, and he has an open shot towards goal. That was not a good situation. If they had just more so, congregated onto the ball, it might have been a different scenario of the goal. But it is something that we have to talk about. And what was your rating for Connor? Let's begin with Milante on this one, and I'll also show the chats. Go ahead, Milante. What was your rating on Bradley?
Wasn't Bradley's best game, as you just confused the yellow card and a few bits out of position, struggled especially with old Dibbers moving left and right on the other side. A little bit better in the second half, just a few sloppy passes. Yeah, I like Bradley. He's going to be one, but it wasn't a great game for him today as well. 50.
Okay. Let's go to Brian. What was your rating for him?
Yeah, I think what everybody is saying. Not his best. Yeah, the yellow, as a defender, you have to be prepared to take one in a game, and it has to be the right one to take. And if that one is after 8 minutes, it's after 8 minutes, right? Cool. That one I don't think was necessary. It was a rash. It was a bit, unnecessary. Guy wasn't going anywhere in midfield. The only other thing I say, but I think it was him. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, but I think it was him. It was 2 awful defensive passes in that game. Number one was, I think it was Flynn Downs, who literally played a blind pass into his own penalty area to present Dom with a shot into his own goal. You can only imagine what the manager was thinking when he saw that. The other one I think was Bradley, when Bradley was on the edge of the box on, the left-hand side, facing away from the goal, facing away from all the action, and the ball bounced in front of him. For some reason, he decided to play a blind ball back over his own shoulder, over his head, directly into the middle of the penalty area, not knowing where anybody. I was like,
you might be. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that might be Robbo.
Was that Robbo that did? I was like, who? What were you doing? Okay, so
there was a play I remember distinctly. It was I just watched it for a third time, and there was a play where Robbo kicked the ball, and he tried to kick it over his
over his own head, played it
overhead behind it, to kick it back, just to get rid of it, just to clear it, and it didn't really go much. I think I'm pretty sure
it was literally like a ball into the middle of the area for Southampton.
It was a hard stop a moment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Robbo. If that was Robbo, but
I think that was Robbo.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I can double check. I can double check.
Someone said, yes. Max said yes. Him. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I'm almost positive it wasn't him, because I remember that play particularly.
Yeah.
And I ended up rewinding it to be like, who was that? And I saw it was Robbo. I'm like, I'm gonna hear about it on the show.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
But,
weird decision. Really weird decision.
mhm.
But yeah, so Bradley, I can't take away from that, which I was going to do. Yeah, I'll go with the chat. I'll go with a 60. I'll go to 60. Not a great game. Yeah.
All right. So I showed all the results in the chat. A lot of different results. I'm trying to think. Was that in the first half or second half, Brian? That you're talking about, by the way. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Oh, they were attacking. Oh,
I'll look for it.
Second half.
Second half? Okay.
Yeah, in the second half.
So we are going to have Bradley. I saw a lot of 60s. I know he's got a 50. I'd give him 67. So let's drop him down to like a 63. Drop him a couple points since there's some 50s in there.
It's hard to have a good performance when the centre half don't, because they take their positions off the centre halves. You know what I mean? So I play well if the centre halves don't.
All right. Let's move on to Robbo.
I give him Bradley then. I'll give him.
Sorry.
My fault.
64. I'll give him.
Okay.
That would have been would have been the same anyway.
I'll give Virgil 65. I'll give Bradley 64.
Yeah. It moves us on to Robbo. And again, Robbo's a player that has divided some people in the thoughts of what he's doing, in contribution to our club. I said this yesterday. It was I thought Robbo was the best of a bad bunch, in the sense of I thought the back line did not play exceptional yesterday. They, against a possibly a better team, as some people want to put it, giving away those opportunities will unlikely or most likely create poor results for us. But Robbo statistically had the best game out of all four players. Statistically. Now, eye test merchants and everything else out there, I get it. Let's hear it.
Ooh,
this is your opportunity to put it in the chat. I'm sure that I see that the number of people watching has ticked up since maybe they thought we would be on Robbo by now, so they've come back to weigh in what they need to weigh in. So let's have at it. Let's certainly.
Am I an eye test merchant? I'm interested to know. Am I an eye test merchant? I believe in the eye test. So does that make me an eye test merchant?
I don't know if you're an eye test
merchant.
I
believe in it. I mean,
no, you know why? Because eye test merchants don't ever ask for stats.
Okay, so can I just clarify? Is an eye test merchant someone who says that you can know everything about a game without looking at stats? Is that what an eye test merchant is? Because obviously we're not discounting people who can.
Eye test merchants, I think, are people that discount stats. They say, "Oh, stats don't matter."
Oh, okay.
At all.
Okay.
Like, he had 3 goals. Oh, that doesn't matter. Or he had I don't know 7 out of 8 ground duels won. That doesn't matter.
No, I'm just wondering what. Yeah, so it's the people what we used to call Luddites. Lee will know what I mean when you say a Luddite. It's a Luddite is anybody who doesn't want anything to do with modern technology, doesn't want anything to do with just
vehemently opposed to change.
Yeah, anything to do, anything new. It's just like the old way is always the best. So kind of a Luddite kind of vibe. No, okay, cool, I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
Yeah, that's usually what I attest as being a eye test merchant. I mean, I know a lot of people always put me as being a stat merchant. I definitely like stats, but I like to say that I like to use a combination. I believe that you have to be a hybrid of both. I believe
it's Goldilocks.
Have
stats.
Have stats
are there to answer questions.
Actual backbone for some of the things that you are saying. Like, you can tell us your feelings, but the stats are actual facts that you can back up your feelings with.
But
That's
it's
all.
like if you see a guy playing a game and you haven't seen him before, it's like, wow, that guy looked really good. He looked good on a yada yada yada. He looked class. It's like then you can go and look him up and go, oh wow, look, he's done this before. He's done that before.
Mhm,
That's the
mhm,
way I like. He's just like, okay, I think this. Am I right or am I wrong? He looked to me like this, or that guy looks bad. He looks good. Okay,
mhm,
let's have a look at the stats. But it's like, what do I see with my eyes? Right, I'll go and see how that lines up. But
mhm,
if the whole idea that, I mean, XG, like there's some people out there who still don't know what XG means. Like there's those kind of people out there. This XG, it's like, oh, of course. Like you're trying to explain to XG to be XG is just basically par in golf. It's just what the average player would do. It's just like, oh, how can you say XG this, XG that? It's like, so you're saying he would have scored that? There's a lot of
mhm,
people out there, and they don't want to hear it. They don't really want to
mhm.
say, like,
The
well, he
passing
won this
rate
many
at
crown
max is like
jewels
the
and all
passing
that
rate. I
stuff.
see what you're saying. Usually, when it comes to like the what type of pass, those are progressive passes. Like as in they'll distinguish it as being passes into, obviously progressive, meaning like forward passes that progress the ball forward, and then also they'll talk about key passes and big chance creations.
Just need how to know how to apply context, and
Mhm.
if you know how to apply context stats, you're good.
Yeah, there
As
you
soon
go.
as you know how to do that, you're good.
What are you people saying about Robbo, people? What are we saying about Robbo? I see Red for Life gave him a 58. Hash gave him a 50. 57 from Max. 59 from Bonkers. I just don't understand. I get that Rob. He should be marked down for the foul that led to the penalty kick. I get that, even though a good majority of us don't believe it was a foul inside the box. That would make a noticeable difference as to the likelihood of it being scored on, considering they didn't even score technically on the penalty kick. They scored on the rebound. I know I'm looking at the pictures. Okay, yeah, that's an interesting way of putting it. Red for Life. Cedric gave him a 60. Robbo goes up to a 60. Now I know the now you know the stats. There you go. There you go. Let me give the stats real quick for him, real quick. Let me give because again, he was possibly the best in a bad bunch. 2 clearances, 2 tackles, drove pass twice, but was last man tackle once. Obviously committed the penalty. Had 107 touches. It was 92% for his passing. Created 5 key passes. 5 key passes. Some of the passes that actually led to actual big chances or even attempts on goal were created by Robbo, by the way. 2 out of 6 for his ground duels, so that wasn't exceptional, but all the same. 65 from Bernie. Okay, that's a little bit. What were you guys giving them? Let's start with Lee this time, and then we'll go to Lante, and then we'll go to the Irishman. Lee, what was your rating on him?
Give him a 63.
Okay, easy enough. Nolante?
I don't think Robbo was good at all, man. It's another that bad game. One as bad as the Arsenal game. I mean, yeah, he did do some second half improved in overlap based crosses weren't great. Defensively, like the back four, they're all over the place for me. Mate, Simicast is like after having a good performance, in my opinion, man of the match against Villa before the international break, he's gone off it. It's again could be damned he's burnt out, run out, just form wise. He's just yeah. Simicast needs to be the guy now, and for me that was poor from Robbo 45.
Okay. 3 out of 11 was Robbo's crosses. Keep in mind, crosses do his corners do count as crosses as well. So that's why he had such a high level of crosses. He had 11 crosses. He had 1 out of 4 for his long balls, 3 out of 11 for his crosses.
Right.
Brian, what was your rating?
Yeah, I mean they're not great reading those. I mean 2 out of 6.
If
Other
that's
than
not if he's also
no,
if
no,
he,
I'm just saying other.
oh no, I get what you're saying. I was gonna just not a comment about what you're saying. I was gonna say also people, if his numbers according to like Silva score and you know who scored and all the other stuff, if his score statistically was the best average of the back four, that says a lot again of what the back four created together.
Well, exactly.
Whereas
I mean, I don't think he was.
right.
I mean, some of his numbers aren't great there. That's
Yeah.
other than the like. I mean, what do they give the other boys? I mean, I'm going to give it a 60. Seems a bit high there. 59. 59.
Okay. All right. I had to adjust my score to accommodate everyone's scores here. I had him at a 72, but I'll bring him down to a 66. I think that's fair. I think everyone's kind of into like those kind of scores. I think so. Let me double check.
60.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, you got to.
I think that
lower, maybe.
Yeah. I guess I have to give him a 60 because like that's about as low. That's crazy, people. That is wild.
Well,
He did not have out of the 4. I don't think that Robbo had the worst game out of 4. Yeah, he's got the one of the worst scores. That's wild. Wild, Robbo, but it's all good. Bounce back next game. Let's move on to Dominic Szoboszlai, another a beleaguered player for us. What was your rating on Dominic, Brian?
Oh shit, me. I see. I only
Dominic, the
saw
player
it
that
one
he even
time.
got flowers. Barnes even gave Dominic flowers, by the way, on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. He scored the goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dominic
Dominic possibly had the highest average score as for statistics on the team. Dominic had the highest score statistically.
Yeah, see, I wasn't mad about. Okay, so well, I can see everybody else's now, so it's not going to matter what. So I will say, yeah, I'll just say 72.
72. Okay.
Yeah.
How about for you, Nalante? What would you give Dominic?
Dom, yeah, it's better. It was better from Dom. Don't get me wrong, and it was a nice finish. Even though went straight to him, he done well. To be fair, some nice touches first half. I thought second half again he was okay, but he just faded out a bit. I just need him to be more, closer to the box. He just needs to do a bit more for me. But it's an improvement. He did okay, but Dom needs to do more. But for yesterday. 70 for me. 70.
Okay. How about for you, Lee?
Yeah, I'll give him.
Ref for Life is providing some statistics for us as well.
Give him 68.
68. All right. That's definitely going to be interesting because my score is a lot higher than that.
I'm going with 90. I guess you got
90.
90. Yeah, I guess you got 90.
I didn't have him at a 90. I didn't have him at a 90.
89, 88, 89.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Right spot on.
If you really look at it, he got man of the match, by the way.
Yeah.
And
no, it's up to the guys.
And he also,
it's up to the guys. Yes.
Man in the match.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well,
he got man of the match.
Yeah.
He had a goal. He had obviously 0.23 extra.
I thought Salah got man of the match. So I was asking that question earlier on in my show. I was saying I assume he got man of the match, and people, I think he got man of the match. That's interesting. I just assume Mo.
I guess it depends. I guess maybe this might be maybe he got man of the match for this resource, but the resource I'm
Yeah.
looking at set.
Oh, on
has-
that.
they'll-
Yeah.
they'll-
Okay.
They'll have like a
But
star
the on
guy.
the pitch thing.
Yeah, like
The actual
I-
on the pitch man of the match. I'm not
yeah,
sure.
that
I assume
that
it was
I'm-
Mo, right?
it probably was Mo.
Yeah.
But on here, they
Oh,
have
he had
him
a
as
good game.
having
He had a good
72
game.
touches, 41 out of 48 passing, which is 85%. He had 3 key passes, 3 out of 8 for crosses, 4 out of 4 for long balls, created a big chance. 2 shots on target, 1 off target, 2 shots blocked. He shot a lot more. This is probably the most he's shot in any game, pretty much right now. Was 2 for 2 for his dribble attempts. Was 6 out of 8 for his ground duels. Lost the ball 12 times. Was committed 2 fouls. Had 1 interception, 4 tackles, and that's the completion of his.
I think he's my highest rated player so far. So
Yeah. I'll bring it down a little bit though. That's how it's going.
oh, it's got to come from.
He's staying.
everybody,
He's staying at
68.
I don't care. He's staying in the 80s.
I don't know. Okay.
I'm gonna
See,
keep
this
my-
is why this is like,
Has to be.
these ratings are only so much ratings.
No, it has to be. I'm trying to do the best average as I can for him. 85 from Cedric. If you listen to what I just said, I mean, like, it's not like
I
did-
know. I'm just saying
got
about the
an 8
average
for his ground
numbers.
duels.
I know. I'm not saying about what you just said. I'm just talking about the numbers in the chat. That's all.
Player
about
haters
the,
club.
the
Yes,
average.
hate.
The average numbers. It's all pretty high, apart from.
No, I mean he got there. His
He got
numbers
a
are all over.
s-
Red for Light gave him 85. Red Armchair
Yeah,
Chair
exactly.
Supporter gave him 85. I gave him an 89. Tyler gave him 74. Ash gave him a 68.
I gave him a 72. Lee gave him a 70.
Yep.
Levante, you gave him lower. I think. What was it? Levante gave him.
I gave
I
him
don't want to
60.
say.
58, I think, or something like that.
Oh, you gave him a 60. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Lee gave him a 68. Yeah.
Mhm.
Lee,
I
I
gave
knew
him a
someone gave him a
71.
68. Yeah.
That's
he
a
gave him
pretty.
a
That's
71.
pretty wild. That's pretty wild. The guy got with
That's a
numbers
big
like
spread,
that
you know.
and a
That's
goal
what you-
too, and a goal.
That's
He's
what you're
getting
going to
60.
get when you open it up.
He's getting 60.
You're going to get the spread.
Dom, don't earmuffs. Dom, earmuffs. All right.
Sure, he's
Let's
a big
go.
boy. Don't
Yeah.
worry, he's a big boy.
Yeah,
He won't be
yeah.
offended.
How about for Grav? How about for Grav?
2. Deal with that now.
There you
Go
go.
there.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I think Grav for me. I think I'll just say sorry. Great, yeah, 70.
70. Okay.
Yeah.
How about for you, Nolante? What was your evaluation on him?
I thought he was the best in our midfield. Really, he had to do a lot of running back because he's left stranded again, which is that's something we need to sort out. First, second half, and he's getting back to his usual twist and turns. He should have scored though. That was a blatant setup. Great, gravy. It should have been gravy. Should be saying gravy right now, but Mr. Sir. But yeah, man, he was the only one tackling, trying to move the ball. For me personally, like we disagree, just trying to dictate a little bit. And yeah, if he goes missing, then we get exposed more, and it's a problem we need to address. So in that case, I give him a yeah. I thought he was at 80. I thought he was at 80 for me.
Show me that 80.
Yeah.
There you go. Lee, what was it? What was Grav for you, by the way?
70.
70. Okay. 80, 70. It's a very, very interesting game to hear people's ratings for.
78. Yeah, 70.
I know, tough.
I know.
What were you going to say? It's all right. Your show. The floor is yours.
Right. So Brian, what did you give Grav? What did you give Grav, Brian?
Well, I gave him a 70, so there's a nice little average spot there.
Yeah, so
75 is
70,
everybody's either
80.
saying 70 or 80. So.
Lee gave him a 70, right, Lee?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's like 80,
Levante
75,
gave him an
70,
80.
78, 82, 75 from Cedric, 70 from Hylor. A middling first half showing mixed some nice touches with losing challenges in the middle of the park. And a good ball from deep to assist Salah. His pass to Salah was phenomenal.
Lovely ball. Lovely ball.
To have the vision to put that there, that was good. That was really good. Again, I had him at a 79. I think that's
what you
fair.
need
I think
in
that's
that
fair.
position. I
82,
think
78,
75
70,
is spot
75,
on.
80, 75. That's about average.
I think 76, 70, a bit closer maybe.
There's
I
a
don't
lot
know. I just thought immediately 75.
82,
Oh, you
78.
do it.
Yeah, 82, 80, 82, 70. There's 75, 75. 70 was the lowest of the ratings.
Yeah, I gave him 70. I don't know. I just would have thought 75. But no, it's cool. You leave it 79.
78. How about that? 78. How about that? All right. Bring it down a notch for the player haters club.
Otherwise, you'd be called the dictator if you just leave your own score. So you just mean.
Oh no, yeah. Usually, I don't leave my scores if they were like, if they look like it's the average for what it is. We all love lazy gravy. So
show me that lazy gravy.
Right. Curtis Jones. Jones.
Ooh.
Player that a lot of people were, very, very high on. Curtis Jones in this game, not his best.
No.
What was Curtis Jones' rating on this one? 75 from Max. I see you. How about for you, Irishman? What was your rating on Curtis Jones?
Well, do you remember he scored very highly in the who do you think is going to have the biggest impact in this game poll?
Yeah.
Remember you asked that question? I think a lot of us said Curtis Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't quite work out like that.
Didn't work out that way per se.
No, it didn't quite work out like that. Very quiet, wasn't it? And then he gets hooked. So, yeah, passed him by a little bit, didn't it? Passed him by a little bit.
Yeah, maybe the baby was keeping him up the night before. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the baby monitor kept going off, maybe or something.
I'll give it a 55. I don't think he really put his. I'm sure he was involved bits and pieces, but.
Oof.
Yeah, 55.
How about for you, Lee? Scouser to Scouser.
But I gave Ryan 70, and he was the best. He was the pick of the midfield. Dom got 68. I'll give Curtis 62.
Okay. Lamonte?
Yeah, not the best for Curtis, but not the worst. He tried, but there's a situation which was very embarrassing. I think it was him, Bradley, Canate, and someone else. I can't remember. And it was the big striker that made him look like flipping Ronaldinho. Dazzling. That was embarrassing, if I'm honest, because
left Bradley on his arse, bamboo. Jones.
That was kind of embarrassing, but he was a part of the four. He weren't great. Again, this thing of losing control of the midfield at times, it wasn't as bad as other games, but at certain times, Southampton were getting us in the midfield. And, Jones, he needs to gets more disciplined. I mean, so if I'm looking on this, it wasn't his worst game, though, but 60 would be fair for me.
Okay. 60, Hyler saying. I'll star what you said about the Real Madrid Hyler and bring it up in a second. But Curtis Jones, 60, solid, up, unspectacular, subbed out. He was subbed out pretty early. All things said. Again, I'm trying to find that spot that we were just talking about earlier with who I thought was Robbo. Some people thought was Bradley. I don't think it happened in the second half, to be honest with you.
Well, we were playing left to right.
We were playing left to right. Well, if it's left to right, then that's second half.
Yeah.
Okay. Curtis Jones in this game, I had it at 72, but considering everyone's grades of 60s and 50s and likes, we're going to have to bring him down to at least like a 60.
From Ash.
Bring him down to a 62.
55 from Ash.
Cujo's my guy.
Just wasn't the game from yesterday.
This wasn't a good game for him yesterday. It wasn't. He didn't really get involved the way that we have come to look for him to get involved. He just didn't. Another player that was some might have said meh when it came to his performances was Cody Hackbo. But what was your assessment of Cody, Lee? What was your number that you'd give Cody?
I'll give him a 60.
Oof. No holds barred here, man. Everyone's coming out like.
Yeah, I mean, Mark's the whole
Okay.
team has been around the same area, like for the whole side. Like, 'cause it wasn't a great performance all over the pitch.
Mhm.
Like, it's a team game, and they all get bad marks, including
Okay.
Exactly.
Mo won't be getting anything over 65 off me.
Oh wow. Okay. Brian, what were your ratings? No spoiler alert right there. Or I should say, or spoiler alert. What was your rating for Cody? Agent Cody.
Well, look, I know you like it.
It's Jesus.
Go ahead.
No, that's gone a bit rogue.
Yeah. No worries. I got him.
You haven't had much of an opportunity, and I know you like it, so you can get his stats out. You can get the stats out for Cody.
You want to see Cody's stats? Okay. Cody's stats are: he had 3 shots, 62 minutes played, had 47 touches, 93% for his passing, 27 out of 29, had 1 key pass, 2 out of 8 for his crosses, 1 big chance created, shots on target 1, shots blocked 2, dribble attempts successful 2 out of 2, ground duels 3 out of 4, possession lost 8 times, fouled once, was committed 1 foul, was fouled once, and had 1 interception.
Yeah, kind of involved, very much involved, wasn't he? He had a couple of shots like he likes to do. He's not afraid to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Like another thing, but like say with the context thing, if you could say you could look at a player who's lost possession or giving the ball away to a degree, and you go, oh, he's done that a lot. But then you look at how many unsuccessful dribbles did he have? And then that would be when he's lost the ball. It won't be, oh, he passed it in midfield to a forward and gave away. You can lose possession in an area like that. I think when he loses possession, it's in not dangerous areas. So it's like, where did you lose possession? I think Cody, if he does give the ball away, it's because he's tried something in their kind of area. 6 out of what was Red saying? It would say 2 out of 8 for the crosses.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really a crosser of the ball, but yeah, again, Cody, someone who maybe not quite his game yesterday. Did his usual bits and pieces, does what he does, but so yeah, I don't know, man. That's a hard one. So yeah, 60, 62.
Okay. Delonte, what was your score for Agent Cody?
Cody was again similar to Jones. Wasn't his worst game. It wasn't his best. He started 20 minutes a bit with precise the wing, and he done one floating cross. He likes to turn, which I think something he might have to learn is just going on the outside and whipping the ball in. But again, cuts inside, good ball in, and Salah had the chance at the far post. A good save the keeper. Apart from that, he just wasn't. I don't know. Again, it's just Cody, just with his shooting, he just wasn't really involved in the game, just attacking wise, just a bit hit and miss. But 60 for me.
Okay. I had Cody at I know all the people had pretty low marks for Cody. I had him at a 76. So I'll bring him down. Looks like going to be maybe in the 60s. I think it's going to be more likely, so I'll give him a 65. 65 for Cody. Darweezy, Mary, if you're in the chat, get your 100 in there now.
Or block your ears, whichever you want.
What was your rating for Darwin? Let's go with Brian this time for the first.
Go somewhere else first. Go somewhere else first.
Okay. Everyone does. No one wants to step up. All right, so let's do Nolante first.
Yeah, red armchairs like Mulligan.
Mulligan.
Yeah, Mulligan.
I just wanted to rip the band off.
I'll say Darwin. 45 for Darwin.
45 for Darwin. That's like the worst. I think that's the worst score you've given all game, all day.
Yeah, he was crap, right?
All right. Darwin gets a 45. Wow. 50 from Bernie. I see 60 from Cedric. Nolante, what would you give Darwin?
10.
A 10.
No, I'm joking.
I know. So, my poker, I do not have a poker face.
He's like, what?
He's
ended.
I actually gave bonus points for his penalty attempt when he fell over clutching his head. I gave him 5 extra points for that.
Lawrence Olivier in Hamlet.
Sure, yeah.
But on a serious note, we see with Wizzy, for Sheezy, for Neezy, for Leezy, for Sheezy. He's just, I don't know with Darwin, he just doesn't use his physical attributes as enough as he should be. For a man who is tall as him, he's strong. Again, he didn't have, it's very hard to score this because he didn't have great service. If I'm honest, he didn't have much, but he had a few service, and the service he did, when Gravenberch made that great run, drove into the box, could have done better. Shot was blocked, and he did do that good run off, and then the assisted, which Diaz really should have buried that. If I'm honest, I don't know why people say, "No, the ball was wrong." I think one commentator, which I don't understand, that was Diaz's fault. He was good. Diaz should have buried that. He mistimed that, so he done well. But just Darwin is just sometimes he's on the peripherals of the game, and then when we attack it, sometimes his ball selection is just it's just not great. But again, I don't know what we do with him. It's very hard because you got half the fans saying he's not getting enough chances. It's true, but the chances he is getting, it's not a lot. But the chance he is getting, it's just hit and miss, and it's a conundrum because when Jota comes back, Jota will go straight back into the team, in my opinion. So it's very hard with Darweezy. I mean, in this game, I'll give him a 58. I'll say 58 for Darweezy. 58.
Okay. How about for you, Brian? You ready to step up?
Yeah, I mean,
be brutal.
Well, I wasn't going to be brutal. I've been
encouragement of others to be brutal.
No. I've always been fair about the guy. I've always been fair.
Oh, Barry-Ann's here. No pressure, bro. She's in the chat.
From day one. I've never been brutal. I've always been fair about the guy. I've always been consistent about the guy.
Hey, that Marianne? But they've been brutal.
Yeah, the chat have spoken there on their they've been brutal, so I'm not going to go in two-footed, but I'll just echo what everybody else is saying, kind of with what would you call it? 54. 54. Not a game for him. Like we said when we were watching 12 man, there was like 5 defenders in the box the whole time. Darwin just stood in the middle. Nobody was going to get the ball. There was no chance. It wasn't a game for any centre forward. Like there was so he wasn't involved. It's not like he had a horrible game where he missed a load of chances or gave the ball away a lot. It's just he kind of just wasn't involved in it that much.
They were a bit shaky at the back themselves, though. Like, thought he might have happened.
They just packed the defense. They just packed it up, man. 5 across the back all day long, and it's going to be hard for anybody.
They did. They had 5 in the back, and they had 5 in the midfield, basically. It wasn't. It was. They said it themselves. The commentary said it's like sometimes it's like 5 and 5. This is 2 stacks of 5, basically. There wasn't even anyone really trying to play out in front of. I think Monte's talking to his parents.
Arguing about Nunes with his mom and dad.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I was actually talking to you, but I got muted.
Oh, I
Actually,
thought you were
Oh,
talking
okay.
to. I thought you were talking to. I thought you said mom. I thought you said
no.
Go
You
ahead,
just-
Jonathan. What were you going to
I
say?
didn't want people to hear your conversation with your mother. That's why I was muting.
No, it's nothing. No, it's fine. No, I was just gonna say, what were we talking about? Was it Darwin? Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
Weezy.
I think
Oh
so.
God, oh, is he? I was just gonna say, yeah, the back five. Yeah, you say Southampton play the back five, but the thing is, the back five wasn't the problem because we still created the chances. We were just sloppy with our play. I don't think the back five was the problem. Like Soboslai, Gapco could have done better. Salah. It wasn't the fact that Southampton had the back five was the issue. We were getting past them. It's just again, our finishing wasn't up to par. That's all it was really.
He
I
had
don't think Southampton were that great
he had one shot.
defensively. It's not like it's a filler.
Technically, he had two shots technically,
Yeah.
but he had one
Yeah.
shot from open play. The other one was from a it was a header from a set piece that was saved, and then he had one shot that was blocked, and that's it.
Yeah.
I get people the way that they're
Quiet
being
day.
critical on him, and because he's our striker and wants
Okay.
him to score goals and the likes, but he also had, out of 89 minutes played, you realize that he had 25 touches. That's not a lot for a player that's supposed to be your number 9, your striker that you're trying to feed and trying to get, opportunities. And the one opportunity he had one shot on target, one shot blocked, like I said. He had 25 touches. He only had 15. He only got to create 15 passes. So out of the 25 touches, he had 15 passes. 10 out of them he was correct on. He had one key pass, which was the key pass that he had to Lucho. That Lucho was a little behind Lucho, but Lucho should have probably made the proper adjustment to be able to put that through, but he couldn't get his feet set. Lucho had just come in the game, I guess, and wasn't ready for it. So he just ended up, bottling that shot.
It's just in the wrong place.
And then 2 out of 5 for long balls, 2 out of 6 for ground duels. Didn't win any of his aerial duels, 0 to 3, but fouled once, was fouled once, gave up 1 foul, and had 1 tackle. But I think the key part and point is 25 touches. 1 and having 2 shots. That's not saying he played poor. That's just saying he's not getting.
Yeah, but you're also saying, are you not getting in the position to receive the ball? That's what you could say about that as well.
No,
are you not getting in the position?
If you're going to do that, then you got to go. That's eye test merchant type stuff.
No, that's not eye test merchant. That's what I'm just saying.
I'm saying I would say an eye test merchant would say, "Are you?" Because they watched the game. It has nothing to do with the stats. But if you look at where.
No, but I'm just saying, if you're not touching the ball, is it because the ball isn't being played to you?
I'm trying to say it wasn't. I don't think it was.
Yeah, but that's what I'm just saying. Is it because the ball isn't being played to you, or is it because you're not getting in the position? Is it because you're not like we looked at Mo last year? I think Mo had games where he's touching the ball like 30 times, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not unusual, but it's more like again, look, there's context to everything. Was it because of you were playing Chelsea this week, or you're playing Man City next week?
Mm-hmm.
Those things will change completely. Everything will change.
47 touches to Cody, 46 touches to Mo Salah. It's nearly double the amount of touches that Darwin had. It's 70 some odd touches for Dominic. Did I say Dominic?
But that's what I'm trying to say. When they packed the middle, so we went wide.
72 touches for Dominic as well in the middle. 96 touches from Gravenberg. And for Curtis Jones, he had 66 touches.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, if you look at the game,
midfield and outfield.
Exactly. If you look at the game, they were packing the middle, like we said, right? So why would you play it into the middle? If they got 3 defenders, 2 midfielders in front of that, so you're going to play it wide all the time. So it would make sense that your number 9 doesn't touch the ball. To me, it would make sense that your number 9 wouldn't touch the ball as much as your wide players would, because you're not going to play it into that.
If that's the case, then
all the time.
But then, if that's the case, then
so I'm not criticizing them for not touching the ball. I'm not. Oh, you should have touched the ball more. I'm just saying, to me, that makes sense. You got a packed middle, a packed center defense. So play it wide. That's what you're going to do. Keep playing it wide. So if Jota or Gakpo or whoever been in the middle, probably would have the lowest touches of our front three because we weren't playing it through the middle.
This is what I've
been
been trying to
get it wide
across.
and get around.
And this is like for those that do rely on eye test things. Players could have put the ball through to Nunez, but decided to back pass or BTO pass instead. I don't know what BTO means, but I think that there were a lot of passes that were they did the more conservative passes than they did trying to get the progressive passes. And and out of the few opportunities that he had, you spoke about the case with when he had the opportunity to pass to Lucho. That was a pass that he got through, got the play, obviously pushed forward with it and created on his own. Press issue on his own. He didn't have that many opportunities like that. That's what I'm trying to get across. Is that he just
I'm agreeing with you. I don't know. I think if you think I'm disagreeing with you, I'm not
even speaking to you. I'm just speaking to people.
Yeah, I'm just saying it was not a game for him. You come up against a team to put 6 players in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
How much fun are you going to have if you're a lone striker? Not much. Not much at all. You're going to touch the ball once every maybe 10 minutes if you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But
go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was gonna say I agree. I hear you, but the thing is, we still create chances. And not if Southampton were robust defensively. Look, they're playing full sport at the back, passing at the back. So it's not as if like Southampton were unbelievably rock solid like a Forest. We still our final third at times was floppy. And with Darwin, what I always say is I hear you talk, but it's a bit of both. It really is a bit of both. We're not creating enough chances, I agree, but we can't blame it all just not creating him. Darwin is not doing himself justice by being in the right positions. Because look at the game against Arsenal. Again, I don't think it's a slot thing. You're coming all the way back playing it as a left back. You're not a left back. Do what you do, Darwin. Stay up front and be the
real quick. Doesn't that sound like it's more? It's not like Darwin's taking the initiative in doing that. I think Darwin's being instructed to come back and help.
Well, I wouldn't. Okay. No, I understand, but I wouldn't say Slot has said to him, look, Darwin, you got to start. He hasn't told him to come left back every time against Arsenal. Yeah, he wants him to track back, but again, same as Slobbo, they're here to do, they want him, that's the standard procedure, but you're here to do what you do, be a nuisance up front and get us goals. It's like, when you're attacking, then that's what we want. Like the assist nearly for Diaz, who should have buried that, I agree. That's what we want Darwin to do. So it's a bit of a balance of both. One, we're not creating maybe as enough chances for him, and two, sometimes Darwin just drops way too back. You've no need to be there. You've no need to be there, Darwin. To be the focal man that you can be.
I think that I know what you're saying. I just think similar to what Bernie's saying, did Slot get our system wrong for 4-2-3-1 as our players have underperformed? Maybe in this perception, I could say that I understand what you're saying about Darwin maybe tracking back too far and then thus having too much ground to make up to try to be an outlet for as our number 9. But I just think that there's if you look at the play of what in comparison, if you do look at the play of Diego versus even Darwin, there has been the same case where Diego hasn't gotten a lot of shots either. Diego hasn't gotten a lot of shots, comparatively speaking, for a number 9. And it's because he's having to deal with other parts of the pitch. And then you're not allowing Diego to be the asset that Diego is for us. The same with, I think, personally, with Darwin. But the unique thing about Lucho, for instance, as a number 9 for us, is that Lucho can create more off of the ball on his own than I think can Darwin or even Diego in that order. So you might see a little bit more productivity out of him because passing it to Lucho can do the ball tricks and dribble around players and the likes. You're not really getting that from Darwin or Diego to the extent that you would out of a Lucho. But being the fox in the box, or even being the the pace merchant that that Darwin could be by utilizing his pace. You're not getting those. You're not seeing a lot of those assets being utilized because of the structure of our team. That's my personal opinion, or dissection of it all. And that's why I think you haven't gotten the incredibly outstanding numbers for our number nines. I think if you're to look at how many touches, for instance, Holland gets versus how many touches any one of our strikers have gotten throughout the entire year, that's the difference I'm trying to bring out. But I was just speaking to a lot of things directly, but
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
But the
that's
difference
all.
is, no, I
That's-
get it, 12. I understand what you're saying, but the difference is with City and Holland, yes, he probably similar times to Nunes, but he's there to do what he does. He's still there to finish things chances. So
Mhm.
I get what you're saying. I totally agree. Like he's a combination of both. I don't think it's one way after another. Because no one in this chat can tell me that Slot has told to do is trap back and don't do anything. That's just silly. Trap back and then there you go. You know what I mean? He's there. He's a number 9. And what is he there for? You know what I mean? Yes, he's meant to do certain things, but he's also there to score goals as well. So there has to be a balance of both. But again, that's something for the team and the manager to kind of sort this
work
out
out.
and
Yeah.
work out.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the real issue at the moment regarding
Mhm.
that. Because like you said, again, it's nothing to do with Nunes. This is separate, as I was saying to Brian on his previous stream. Go check that out. Brian
Mhm.
Flying Irishman.
Oh,
If Salah didn't score yesterday, and it's not that all the other forward players could easily score, but who would have scored? That is an issue in terms of form wise a bit. That is an issue.
Okay.
But sorry, anyway, that's all I want to say.
No. That's
on
right,
to the
right,
king.
right.
On to the king.
On to Mo Salah, on to the king.
The
on to
man on the front pages and the back pages.
Exactly. Man on the front and back pages, man that's being called irrelevant by people, man that's yeah, we'll get into this. We'll get into that quote in a bit. But yes, Mo Salah. I'll let Nolante start this one off. Mo Salah. How about Mo Salah for you? Because we already know Lee's grade's going to be low in the 60s. So
61.
61. Okay, yeah.
He missed 3 sitters, mate.
Okay. All right. I got you. Lee. You want to
Drive by.
Spray.
That's a Lee Carlson drive by right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, it is true. Who was it that they were bringing up that point? They're talking about a player involved. I'll think of it in a second. But they were trying to make on the not the I think it might have been the halftime, but it was like I think one of the analysis they spoke about one of the players. Was it Lucho that made the run? Maybe it was Lucho, maybe it was Cody. It was one of the players. They made the run, and it was like they're pointing about the fact of like sometimes even though the player doesn't get the ball, just the fact that that player is making that run is important to the development of all the play. It opens up channels. It might open up a shot for you to actually get
dummy runs,
get a look on there. And sometimes it's about making that run, despite the fact that you don't get the ball.
dummy
but
runs.
you're still making. What are you saying?
Dummy runs.
Dummy runs, yes.
Dummy runs. If you're not going to get the ball, you run 20 yards in the opposite direction where you know it's going to go, and you take a defender with you. That's 101.
Yeah, sure.
101. You run and you take a defender with you. Don't let them all run towards where the ball is going to go. We'll move on.
You move.
I just think Mo. I mean, huge.
That's funny, bro. That's funny.
I just think huge yesterday. Absolutely massive. Answered all the questions. The mentality. I don't know. Like, is there a double clutch? Is there a triple clutch? He's gone beyond clutch now. He's like the grab ball, awesome. But I was watching that on my phone. So it was a little bit kind of out of sync. And I saw what happened. I was like, what happened there? I thought it was like a weird bounce and the ball ended up in the back of the net or something. But that finish was one of his best. So, yeah, I think he stepped up yesterday, which is maybe why it gave him the, the feeling to go, do you know what? I'm going to go out
possible
and
man of
make
the
some
match.
statements.
Yeah.
So I know Lee is saying we're all bad. Yeah, I'm with Lee on like everyone was terrible yesterday. It was a bad performance.
For me, with the bad marks,
Yeah.
like Ryan got the most generous one of 70. After that, Virgil with 65.
No, I just think I'm going to have to go after everything I've said. I'm going to give Mo an 88. There's just something about that performance. Yes, I'm going to give him 88.
I cannot, in all good conscience, give him a high mark after giving everyone else such low.
I know.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Lee. Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 64 when he gets older, losing his many years from now.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
We still feed him.
I don't know. I gave him an 85, but
we still need him. Yeah, I'm on the 88.
Yeah,
88.
Makama, I'm right with you. I gave him 85. Hyler gave me 80. I saw 88 from Max, 80 from Bernie, and I think it's 80, and that's 20 for 20. So he had a 60, but he had an 80 because he took his shirt off. I don't think, or maybe it's an 80 plus 20 for 100. I'm not certain, so I'll stick with the 80 for right now.
What about, I gave him an 88. If you give him an 88, you'd be like, oh, I've looked at it, like, I'm going to give him an 87.
Who said that?
I give him an 88.
What?
Definitely, it's got to be an 88. Come on, you got to get it higher up there.
Sponkers gave him an 80. Okay. 2-0 that West Ham score, by the way. 2-0 so far. West Ham up over Newcastle.
Hello, Potato, isn't it? To get a 2-0 there so far.
Cedric gave him 85. 80 plus 20 for the abs. I got you. Yeah, 80.
Abs where people didn't know you could have abs.
85 is right around the average, despite the panel, some panels lower scores, I should say. Because they had 85. Subs. We're going to let all three panelists take on marking the subs individually. So I'll let actually there's only Endo only got on for he got in the 90th minute. It'd be kind of harsh to rate Endo, even though he did play decent in the few minutes that he had. So it's not that bad. Alexi McAllister, what do you guys want to give him? Just give me a score on Alexi McAllister. He was our first sub in at the 62nd minute with Lucho. What would you have rated him?
51.
Would you have him at?
51.
51? Okay. Let me get it set up actually, because I have Lucho being first on there, not okay. 51 though? Okay. What'd you have for him, Brian?
For who? I thought he was doing the other one. Who am I?
No, he's doing Maka. No, we're just doing all of them. Just do all of them because there's only 2. We're gonna rate 2 subs, so that's cool. I forgot there's only 3 subs that got put in. One of them got for 90 minutes, so it's only 2 people got to rate. We could do it all. Usually it's like 5 subs, and that's like another a long spot. That's why.
Let's give them both 60.
Okay. How about for you, Nalante?
Yeah, just previously with Salah, 86 for me.
Oh, 96? Okay.
86 for Salah.
86. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't give him with Mac. No, it's all good. Mac, yeah, I think they kind of changed. We had more control when he came on, so I would say about 68.
68, okay. Scores are all over the place. Max gave him a 50. Bonkers gave him a 70. Okay. Bernie gave him a 60. I don't know if that was just to be just so we can everyone can get a score in there. I'm surprised Hyler didn't give him an 80, only because it's been a 50, a 60, and now a 70 given out. All right. I gave him, I think 70 is possibly a little bit too high for him. So let's do a 65 for him. I think it's about average. And for Lucho's the only other player that got in with enough time to give us some type of rating on. What was your rating for Lucho and Nolante?
70.
70?
Yeah, 70 for me for Lucho. Should have
Irishman?
scored that.
Should have scored? Yeah, should have scored
Yeah.
the one. Yeah. Gotcha. Lucho, Irishman?
Oh, I said both 60.
Both, okay. Lee, Irishman. Lee's Irishman. Lee, you don't have to rate the Irishman, but Lee, rate Lucho.
57.
67. Okay.
57.
57.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody did not bring an apple to class for the teacher today.
No apple, ma'am. Yes,
no
ma'am.
apple. No apple there. You guys got a 73 from Bonkers, a 70 from Bernie, 55 from Max, a 60 from Hash. Okay. The scores, I originally had Diaz at a 72. What do we rate? I'm trying to think what we rated. With McAllister 65. Okay, so let's drop it to 60. There's some 70s in there. 70. Yeah, let's hold them all at 70. There's enough 70s in there to keep them in the 70s at least. Low 70s, if anything. All right. Disregard the Watorendo in there scoring because he's not going to get a score, but all right, and Arnie slot. La. Let it be known that Arnie has just set a record for the amount of wins that he has at this point. Pretty exceptional accomplishment for a coach. Yeah, that's not surprising. K-Mac has some pretty wild takes sometimes. Redbird. But for slot, what are you going to put for slot as the rating? Brian, can we get you to go first this time? And then we'll go Lee, and then we'll go Nolante.
Well, yeah, of course. We all know how good he's been his record. But if I'm judging him purely on yesterday's game, I can't take into account all the others. So purely on what happened yesterday, as a mark from wasn't great for a while. Not what we expected. Yeah, I can't give him a high mark for yesterday. I think Mo steps up. What would you give it? What would you call it? I mean, halftime when they were beating us, he was like at a 40.
Mm-hmm.
So I could probably only push it back up to. I give him a 58. I give him a 58.
Okay. Lee, what was your score?
50.
Okay. 58, 50. And Nolante?
Wow. Hey, going in. I was fine with the lineup, not a problem until the rest of the players just were in and out. Again, he tried to rectify it with subs, so we won. Could have done better, so he needs to sort out that first half performance again a bit. 65 for me.
Okay. 58, 50, I believe you said, right? And a 60. What was your score? 60 what?
65-12.
65. Okay. 72 from Max, 60 from Bonkers, 55 from Hash. Tyler says, I just mentioned Maka and Lucho, but also Walter Endo, who came in, Matt, maybe only for 10 minutes, but he was important in that 10 minutes. Exactly, Hyler. That's why I gave him a 75. Even though we weren't really rating him, I still gave him my own little rating. The amount of challenges he won and the effort he put in, that's in the end what makes a team strong, and that's what we need. Shout out for him making that comment, by the way. That's super cool to hear. Showing that the fact that like sometimes the players that go a little bit underappreciated possibly or unrecognized for their hard work, those people are very important, very, very important. All right, back to slot. Mr. Locke, as Pops likes to call him. I always stick with a 60. I think that's pretty much on par for what everyone was pretty much giving him. That brings us to the best part of the show, which is man of the match. Real quick, rapid fire. Man of the match. Man of the match. Okay, Brian's got his vote for Nunez in there. Okay.
No, obviously not. No, Mo for me.
Okay. All right, going back on it. Oh wow, look at that.
No.
Lee, what's your who's your man of the match?
Gravenberch.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I was expecting that. Okay, and Nolante, your man of the match?
There's only 2 players, but I'll give it to Mo.
Mo? Okay, so 2 Mo's, 1 Grava.
3 Mo's in the chat there. 2 or 3 Mo's.
I'm watching this. I'm watching the plays back again. Let's restart the feed here. And you're right. That Lallana tackle is reckless. It probably should have been more than just a yellow card. That was a reckless tackle. Gravenberch found himself on the ground twice in this game where I was really concerned and hoping that he would get up from the challenges. That and the Kyle Walker-Peters challenge on it was a pretty clumsy challenge. How about for the chat? Let's see. Salah is man of the match for Max. That's 3 for Salah. Hash has him at Salah 2, 4, 5. Man of the match. Let's see. So we are going to make it. So I guess that means, is it the original player that got put up by Brian as being the man of the match? Hold on 1 second. I'll get it correct. Man of the match, for obvious reasons. He actually gave some a little bit of a if that's what you're looking for, it gave some a actual a little sight to behold when he took off his shirt. But man of the match as a runaway vote has to be Mo Salah. The Egyptian king, definitely man of the match. So shout out to man of the match, Mo Salah. Big up for everyone helping us get these ratings in as well. It's not an easy thing to do because a lot of times some people have a little bit of some interesting ratings to put in there. By the way, I don't really remember this individual's play, but the guy that we were listening to was David Prutton. Used to play for Forest, played for Southampton, and he also played for Leeds United.
David Prutton, yeah. Decent player.
Oh, is that who the Kokons was? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Is that who the Kokons was?
Gives a little bit more understanding as to why he was so partial to
David
Southampton
Prutton.
getting some of those calls not called their way. Interesting.
I remember Dave Prutton, yeah, but
He used to score a few goals, didn't he?
Yeah. We had on our side of the pitch or pond
Really?
here,
I
we
thought
had
he's a
David
goal.
Prutton and I'm trying to think who else was on there. David Prutton and Jim Proudfoot was our were the two commentators that we had outside of the pond. Double check. See.
was he a strike? I thought he was a
Yep,
goal.
yep.
David Prutton. Okay.
Prutton was a midfielder.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay. Middlesbrough, Sunderland, what? Like,
That's right, yeah. Spot on. He made his name at Forest.
Forest. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him
Yeah.
taking times Prutton.
Yeah. And that,
So I was right on my kind of, random 90s footballer from the Northeast kind of.
Yeah, is that who it was?
Yeah.
Right, he with Carragher.
Awesome.
It was David Prutton with Jamie Carragher on Sky yesterday commentating.
No.
Oh,
Jim
was it?
Carragher.
Okay. Sue,
I don't know.
hang on. Okay, we're hanging. There was some stuff that I wanted to talk about, and it was some of these wild and crazy quotes that have been done by some commentators and some pundits, and also by some content creators. This particular episode or portion of this show was going to be more directed towards the actual.
Get your popcorn, people. This sounds interesting.
Popcorn.
Get your
Yeah,
popcorn.
yeah,
This
yeah,
sounds
yeah.
like it might get interesting. I don't know. I wasn't expecting this. Okay.
Yeah. We're still waiting for the top 10 worst still waiting for the top 10 worst content creators on YouTube.
Yeah.
We have fun episodes. Some of these particular people might get a shout to be a part of that list, but we have some interesting portions to engage in here. I'm only going to be including the actual quote to hear them say. I'm not going to put up the video of them saying it or any of that stuff. So not trying to have them get so butthurt that they try to give me a content strike or something for that. So this is all for actual, this is only for us dissecting comments that have been made on the internet by some fellow content creators on the red side of the pitch or red side of the fence, and also some content creators that are on different parts of the neighborhood. I wanted to get into this one here as well. So let me bring up this. I will show you who will give them the credit by showing you the actual by showing you who is a part of the conversation. I'm going to show you the actual title of the show that was being said on, and also obviously I'm going to make sure I give credit to the actual channel that it was on as well. So this first one, what's that?
Credit in inverted commas.
Right.
Yeah.
This first one is from Egal. Egal is obviously an Arsenal supporter. He is also being joined in this by Vader, who is a Manchester City supporter and content creator for Manchester City content. And then obviously one of our nemesis, we have Cass, who represents Red Devils, and also he is for Never a Foul, and one of the not only content creators there, but one of the channel owners of the channel as well. So, but this was on Egal Talks Football. This was on an episode that he was trying to tell you what is the future, apparently. All right.
Oh, is he tarot card reading? Is this, have they gone?
I guess he is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
Let's go.
So let me. Hopefully, this is. Tell me if this is playing, or if you can hear this in the chat. If you can't hear this in the chat, or even if you can't hear this on the panel, it's too chat and panel. Please tell me early. I'll take it down and then I'll bring it up, because that's sometimes for some reason audio doesn't always.
Try play it. It'll probably be silent the first time. It usually is.
Yeah, Mystic Meg.
Hit play. Yeah.
Okay, so you ready for this? This is Egal speaking. Egal Talks Football. This is on what he believes is the future of the Premier League, along with our future and the future of particular teams in the Big Six.
Listen. I'll say this.
No, the audio is good. Okay.
This whole thing about Man City, Liverpool.
What do you mean not going anywhere?
Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea's coming up. Man United's coming up. Who's dropping down?
You.
It's not Arsenal. I'm telling you that.
Why would it be Arsenal?
If you have more, I think the team that's going to drop down is going to be Liverpool. And I think the reason why is Mo Salah potentially going to be leaving soon, and Trent is going to be potentially going to Real Madrid. The only person they might keep is going to be Virgil van Dijk. I hear it. Listen.
Okay, so for someone that represents a team right now who sits in fourth place, big up, Jimmy. Is Jimmy leaving, or is Jimmy? Oh, Jimmy's just joining us. Big up.
No,
Jimmy,
he's just coming in.
That's big up, Jimmy. Yes, Egal. For someone who represents a club in fourth place with 22 points, a team that is only ahead of Brighton because of goal differential in fourth place. For someone that represents a club that saw what the difference in his club is without one single player in Odegaard, it is very, very bold to already be predicting that we are going to be the team that fall off. I thought that was a they said what moment, and very interesting to hear from Mr. Egal. I don't know if you agree with his opinions, but do you have something? Does anyone have anything to say when you hear that comment?
Manchester City, 12 Manchester City have lost 3 games in a row, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 straight defeats in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
And Arsenal are still fourth.
Yep.
Does that not tell you everything? Manchester City have lost 3 games in a row in the Premier League, and Chelsea are above Arsenal. That tells you everything you need to know about Arsenal.
Yeah. Big up to those that are joining
Manchester
us.
City are, Manchester City are there. Like, they're just throwing it out the window. They're literally falling to pieces, and Arsenal still are barely in the Champions League spaces. Come on, what are Arsenal doing here? Why is this guy? Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's hilarious when you hear that. I just at a time when like as in he sees his team sputtering and kind of falling out of, I want to say, complete relevance, because I mean obviously Arsenal is a good team and I'm not trying to discredit Arsenal for that, but it's just interesting that it sounds a little bit more like projection than it does real, analysis of the sort, considering that it seems like Liverpool have Klopp has set this team up with a good foundation of players. He's obviously set up this, you know, you can say what you want about the backroom staff, you can say what you want about those kinds of parts, but you can certainly say that Liverpool are certainly a force to be reckoned with in the Premier League. Some would even say in Europe as well currently, as we do sit atop the Champions League table there. And yet, like, you know, whether Cass can hear it from what he's saying at the end there, or whether, you know, the two, I will give proper context. Cass and Vader here did both say that they believe that it will be Arsenal drop out of this, you know, contention for top four, much less contention for competing for the top honor of winning the league. I just thought it was interesting that he would say something that it's a pretty bold statement there. Even if we don't have a Salah, who definitely saved us yesterday, even if we didn't have a Trent Alexander-Arnold, it's not like I don't think that losing those two players mean we sit on our hands and just say, oh well, I guess we're just out of luck. You know, I think we would make the proper acquisitions, if not make some type of change to what we see as the face of our club, if that were to happen. But there's no guarantee that will happen. I hope it doesn't. I just thought that was funny to bring up. I didn't know if it got it. Yeah, I didn't know if it was going to bring enough of a reaction to that one. But all the same, all right, cool.
Wait for the chat to chime in. Man.
Yeah. I thought the chat would have a little bit more of a viral reaction to it, but all good. I will say this one was a absolute howser. I will bring up a little bit more of this. I will bring up a little bit more from this particular chat because this one was a pretty wild one. Let me say this. I think this one clip's only 3 seconds. So okay. And look, this is a shout out to K-Mac, who was on this program. K-Mac was on this program, and unfortunately, he was the only Liverpool representative on this show. It's kind of interesting that a lot of times, a lot of the channels out there that are, especially the channels even outside of the Reds consortium of content creators, it's interesting how they tend to pick certain people to be a part of the panels. That's no shot at K-Mac. That's just an interesting portion of, they tend to bring on people that are negative, or at least certainly not high on giving praise to our team. But he was trying to get I will say this for K-Mac's defense, he was trying to get some words in on this take. And this is, let me make it a little bigger for you here. Oh, wait, I can make it bigger. No, just take some picture. This is the panel that we're speaking on. This is Hamza, top left corner. This is Footy Judge Mo. You can see that in there. Footy Judge Mo is right here in the middle. I do not know the female on the right. She is a Manchester City, all due respect. I have to look that up. When I do find her name, I don't know if they listed her or not, but if I find her name, I will give her credit. And I don't know who actually most of the panel. I just know that Hamza's on the left corner. Obviously, we all know K-Mac on underneath, who's sitting underneath Footy Judge Mo. Here, these people, I can't tell you who they represent. Obviously, there's two Manchester City representatives on the top row there. Footy Judge Mo is an Inter Milan supporter. He doesn't have a hat in the ring when it comes to the Premier League. The person on the bottom left-hand corner is an Arsenal supporter. the person on the bottom right-hand corner is a Red Devil supporter. So there was this particular comment that really made me scratch my head. So I'm going to bring this up. Let me take this one here. Hopefully, tell me.
One moment because it was irrelevant.
So that was Hamza saying that. Hopefully, could you hear that?
Sorry, can you just go back a bit?
Yeah. I'll try to play it again. This is Hamza. Hamza was again the guy in the left-hand corner saying this.
One moment from Mo Salah. We don't remember because it was irrelevant.
He said, "Give me one moment from Mo Salah, because
One moment from Mo Salah. We don't remember
we don't remember."
because it was irrelevant. One moment from Mo Salah. We don't remember because it was irrelevant.
I had to bring that up, man. Absolutely a howler of a statement. Apparently, according to Mr. Hamza, who represent, again, one of our rivals, Mr. Hamza, on the top left-hand corner, believes that Mo Salah is irrelevant because he asked you to bring up one moment that Salah has made. and said that he is irrelevant. That is absolutely pathetic.
I mean, you could even go with like if he wanted to go with like, say, be like that much of a dickhead about it, go bring up one moment.
Yeah.
You go, okay, if you want to even boil it down to that kind of nonsense, well, he won a Puskas award. So there you go. He literally won the best goal scored in world football for a year. So if that's what you want to do, even if you want to go down to that level with someone like him, Mo has all the receipts. Mo can back up. What's he done here? He said, well, he did that. What's he done better than him? Well, he did that. Mo has everything.
Yeah.
Mo has everything. Who does that? Is he an Arsenal fan? That guy?
No, the guy that just spoke on that is a Manchester City fan. He actually went as far as to say this. This was an interesting, because he says he's irrelevant.
Like even the Man City girl in the top corner, she's like, nah, man.
No, there is so many clips that this guy made in this particular episode, and I'll be sure, like I have given them credit. I'm showing right now what it is. I'll be sure to try to list as best I can their channels and what the episode was in the description so that they have proper representation. And you can, go get context for yourself if you want to have more context. But it's some absolute howler of takes that Hamza has in this episode. And also the gentleman in the right-hand corner has some absolute incredibly wild takes as well, whether it's about we played some of the clips backstage, whether the clips on Stevie G and some of the takes that he had on Salah and on Holland actually. He even had a take on Holland that was like a wild one. But that's why it's just interesting. I just thought it'd be fun to like kind of say he said what, or she said what, or they said what. It is pretty wild to hear sometimes the takes of these individuals. This one's only like 28 seconds. So let me see. I'll play you what that after saying he was irrelevant, this is what he went on to go say.
No, I actually remember. The only moment you remember.
Oh my God, I can remember about 16.
To me, in football, it's about trophy.
Hamza, you know what I don't remember?
As much as you want. If you don't have that medal, means nothing. No, it's a shit.
What medal? You won loads of medals.
You go to work every day and you work for free and you don't get paid.
At Liverpool.
You mean nothing. To me, KDB has achieved more than Mo Salah. No, I actually remember.
So, in his opinion, Mo Salah has achieved nothing, and also in his opinion, not only has he not achieved anything, KDB has achieved more than Salah, so therefore KDB is a better player, and he means achieved as in team achievements. This is why it's kind of wild when you get and hear these conversations and you hear these takes, and people will put in, oh, well, he won this and he won that. It's an individual that you're speaking on who won something with a team. He didn't win Champions League on his own. He didn't win the Premier League on his own. The team won it together. Now, he could have played a very substantial part in them winning that trophy. That's something to say. But he didn't win the trophy, the team trophy by himself. Then it would be called an individual trophy. It wouldn't be called, a team trophy. So it's interesting to hear when people say these takes and how the goalposts move depending on who you're speaking on and what you're talking on. And the sheer fact that he was trying to. What's that?
I just think that's a lesson for all fans to learn, that the goalpost can be moved. They do get moved a lot. They do get moved a lot for people to fit within your little parameters. So very easily, Mo. How are you going to compare Mo to KDB, right? How are you going to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Mo's a goal scorer. KDB isn't. You'd probably talk about two of the best players in the league in the last 6 years. Probably the best two, I'd say.
Yeah. And there's never
Probably
been. Have you ever heard any of us say that? And Bernie's right. Have you ever heard anyone in the chat, much less on the panel, say that KDB is irrelevant or KDB is?
No, we take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
buy him in a
not
heartbeat.
A talent, not a great player in his own right. No one has ever gone that direction.
We did a show about 6 months ago, and there were people there going, "Would you take him on a free?" We spoke about it probably for about half an hour. Would you take KDB on a free even now? And a lot of people are like, yeah, I'd take him.
Great.
Nobody out here is going, yeah.
I said it myself.
He's shit. He's irrelevant. These are horrible human beings out there, man, because a lot of them, they don't even believe what they're saying.
I think
they just want to say it because they know
just to get a reaction.
Because how can you even sit there and say, like, I am a football fan whose opinion you should listen to, and then they're going to say something like Mbappe, he's shit, or Ronaldo, he wasn't nothing, Messi, overrated. Come on. These are the people,
Jimmy,
they would say things like that.
Jimmy, they will not demand to be a part of this show, much less will they demand to have anything of defending what they said, because these guys, we've already tried to. I know Nolante has been trying to get Hassam on the channel, or at least try to give any defense for the disgusting words I think that he uses against some of our players, some just people in general. I think that he uses, and then sometimes.
Apparently, this is allegedly, this is not true, and this is a joke, but apparently, Hussam won't go on your channel unless you pay him 500 quid. I'm just saying, I've heard that. It might not be true or something. It might not be true.
Yeah, it might not be
true. I've heard that
Hussam
won't
I might
go
have to put in a strong super chat for him to even recognize the statement, apparently.
Yeah. Literally, he will only go on your channel if you pay him, allegedly. I'm just saying, I've heard that. I don't know if it's true or not.
Right.
Some people are out there just gold digging.
He's a class player, absolutely. No one has ever said that KDB. I would say class player in that he's a world class player. I can go as far as to say that he is an absolute talent. KDB is
100%. Last few years, the last 10, without a doubt.
Injuries have definitely hurt the strength of being able to say that. Obviously a lot of injuries have hit him as of late in his career, but I don't think any of us would hesitate to try to have a KDB, if not a KDB type of player in our lineup.
Oh, he could pass the ball.
Fantastic.
Passing the ball. Oh,
and a supporter of the Reds.
Liverpool fan.
And a supporter of the Reds. Despite wearing a blue shirt, he was a supporter of the Reds when he was younger. I just found that really wild, though. That was, again, Hamza.
We'd never said no, but your sentiment is completely right. No Liverpool fan would ever talk like that about a player who's clearly class.
Right.
We have way more class than that.
Right.
These
That's
boys
why I
are
was
out there
like
trying
that.
to
That had to be
denigrate obvious players.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obvious. It's like, so if he didn't play for City, he's shit and he's trash. You make you make yourself sound kind of loopy and irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, you have to be able to acknowledge other people that play for other clubs, or else you don't really have much credibility.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to acknowledge it. And anybody that sits there and goes, Mo isn't that good, pick a better target. Pick Bobby Firmino. Like, just say, oh, Bobby Firmino is overrated because he didn't score a lot. You know, he didn't do a lot. So you could maybe have a go with him. Picking Mo Salah, that's just stupid.
Mm-hmm. This is silly conversations. So, there were a couple other ones. Yeah, let me say, I'll play this last one for him because I have 1, 2, 3 more from him because he did go on a Stevie G rant and he did go on a Holland rant, but this one was an interesting part too because this is again a wild take, but not only is it a wild take, I didn't understand this take. I appreciate Sadio Mane. I think Sadio Mane is a fantastic legend, a legend in our club, and is a fantastic player. I would not ever say that Mane carried on his back Salah and Bobby. I would never say that. Mane and Salah and Bobby all were phenomenal and worked with each other, creating and making each other better. I just think that their work together made each other better, brought them to new levels. But again, I make sure that I definitely give proper connotation. This is again Hamza, top left corner, the Manchester City fan, on Footy Judge Mo on an episode that is it's a long title, but KDB above Salah was a part of the reason why it interests me to hear what they had to say. And this was his take.
Oh, there's no audio, by the way.
Oh, there's no audio? Oh, shoot.
No, yeah, sorry. Just no audio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I tell you that. Oh, my fault. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get it. Hopefully. Tell me yes or no. Can you hear it? Audio? Ready?
Yeah, you're good.
You good? Okay, good. All right, here's the clip. Okay, sorry about that. This is about Mane apparently carrying our team by himself.
Mane was the reason why Salah won. 100%. When Mane left Liverpool, where was Liverpool? Liverpool not done anything. When Mane left Liverpool, we were told in Liverpool fans, don't lose Mane. He's the guy that's carrying you. They laughed at us. Guess what? Mane said, I'm done with this. I'm going to he won the league of time. What Mo Salah do? Nothing. It is hard. Nothing was Mo Salah behind Arsenal, the likes of Gabriel Jesus.
Okay. Again, let me just underline this. Whether it's to Hamza, whether it's to Egal, whether it is to some of the other, I mean, we didn't deal with some of Kaz's statements. I'm not dealing with some of the other statements by some of the other panelists on some of these shows, but Hamza is taking it to a new level with this comment to say that Mane carried us on his own and that we won nothing after Mane left. Apparently, we didn't win. Apparently, we didn't do doubles or domestic doubles or win a League Cup without Mane here. But that is again Hamza's comment. You couldn't understand the word. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's because he does shout a little bit. He does shout, and he was trying to. He talks sometimes to hear himself speak. I don't think he talks to engage in conversation. I think sometimes he just talks to hear himself, hear the own sound of his voice. But pretty wild takes. I know Nolante is a big Mane fan. I don't know if Nolante has a view on that one. But that was a pretty wild take to say that Mane is the sole reason why we won anything, and that he carried Salah and that he carried Bobby on his back. That's a pretty wild take. Yes. Nolante, are you there? There's some in the chat asking for some. They need to hear you because they need to hear your insight on this one. If you have the opportunity to give it, I see both Lee and Nolante are on mute. So I'm just when they come off of mute, I'll bring them back into the conversation. I guess they might be engaging in something right now. But do you see where I'm talking about, Brian? Though when it gets to some of this stuff, when it gets to something like that's
I mean, yeah, poor K-Mac, Red Armchair saying it there. Like, yeah, poor K-Mac. I mean, to go on he does like to go into hostile territory sometimes, K-Mac, and
K-Mac left this episode too, by the way. K-Mac got tired of people talk. He couldn't. All Hamza did was yell. Obviously, he was speaking very loudly, and he was trying to get his points in, trying to say some points, and eventually he just left the show because there was no point in that. It wasn't a conversation. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, because for me, we're talking about these contributors here, and I'm assuming this guy in the top left-hand corner, Judge Mo, right? That's his show, right?
Yeah, in the top middle. I'll bring it up. Wait, let me bring up this.
Or the Judge Mo guy, yeah, but that's his show, right?
Footy Judge Mo is top. The person whose square is above K-Mac is Footy Judge Mo.
Okay, cool. So basically, a lot of the times is we can criticize the supporters and stuff, these people that come on, but to me, more often than not, it's basically these dumbass fucking little shit stir hosts that pretend to be I'm going to ask a load of intelligent questions and I'm going to set up a debate. No, that's not what you're doing, mate. Basically, what you're going to do is ask on the most volatile fans you can find and just throw a question out there and sit back and watch them shout over each other. These people don't even deserve to call themselves hosts. If you're a host, you should be stopping people shouting over each other. You should be stopping all these things from happening. These are the people that claim to be, and I don't know how they give themselves, it's kind of this self-appointed gravitas, where it's you're going to come on my Big Six show, and I'm going to be the main host, and everyone's going to come on. It's who the fuck are you, dude? You're just this guy that invites on the angriest people you can find and gets them fighting off like a dogfight against each other. And you just sit there and just say nothing. You let them talk over each other all night. I've seen these shows all the time, man. These hosts, they never once step in and go, stop. Because guess what? And they all know this. Anybody that's sitting here now watching this will know that the worst thing you can ever listen to on YouTube, even worse than dead air, is two people just shouting over each other and talking over each other. There's nothing worse. And these guys, these hosts, they just sit there and go, ha ha ha, this is brilliant. This is getting the views up. This is great. They are the worst people. Those people are the worst. They're the organizers of the dogfights. And okay, someone like K-Mac, I don't know. He doesn't need the profile. He doesn't need to go into these places. He's not going to win. So why are you going into these places? You're just giving these people an idea to shout at you. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Those hosts to me are twice as bad as any of the idiots that they bring on. because they kind of sit there with, oh, wow, this is crazy. So fuck you, man.
Yeah,
Acting like you're the
that's honest,
arbiter or something.
right. They went down a slippery, like as in this episode particularly, just trying to have a conversation about KDB over Salah as players, two players that don't even play the same position. Like I don't like as in to try to rate two players and then rate them against each other. It'd be one thing if you're saying, okay, it's one thing to even say Henry versus Salah, even though they play on different sides of the pitch. Okay, but I get it. They're both at one point they're both wingers. Okay, I get that. You can make that. You try to make that comparison. But if you're at least saying it, if you were to go and say, oh, for instance, who's better, Cody or Lucho? Okay, Cody and Lucho both play on the left wing. So you're going to have, some comparable conversation to be able to debate who, in your preference or in your opinion, is the better footballer or the better player or the better left wing. That's an honest and genuine conversation. But the spiral that this thing took was absolutely wild. Again, I have some other clips. I was probably going to save them for tomorrow. There's some other clips on that show where they talk about Stevie G. They talk about Scholes. They talk about freaking Eden Hazard versus Mo Salah. And like there's just some wild takes that get to go on here. This last little clip is what I'm going to bring up. This is the last little bit. We're already at the 3-hour marks. I've been trying to keep our shows at 2 hours at least or less, but now I've already gone over, so it's all good. All good. I wanted to definitely get this last little clip out because this last little clip is very interesting. Now, this clip is from the Football Terrace. It's from this episode that aired on November 18th of this year.
Look at all those dickheads. Look at them all. Look at all those dickheads.
This at the time when I actually did clip it, I already had 26,000 views by the point that I rewatched. This is like a rewatch. I watched this live when it happened.
I'm definitely looking forward to hear what the boy on the bottom right has to say. I'm definitely looking forward to him.
Yeah. That was right when he was about to get into his point too. When I clipped it.
I'm a Derby County fan, is he?
No. So the people on this panel, obviously Terry is the owner of the Football Terrace, or one of the owners at least, and he is the proud owner of this channel that has 435,000 subscribers. It's called the Football Terrace, and I've been on Terry's show.
Derby County is the Rams. That's what I thought. That like those got a Derby fan.
No, his name is Ram, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking of Ram. I think his dad supports Forest. So the players on their panel are Henry Talks Football. And the names of the actual participants is obviously shown, but Henry is Henry Talks Football represents Spurs. Ram YT, the Ram stand, represents I almost said Nottingham Forest. He represents Liverpool, or says he does, and YT, so YouTube Football Carnage. This Football Carnage with a C, not a K, represents Pokemon and also represents Real Madrid. And Callum, big up Callum, by the way. He's a good friend of mine and someone that I rate. He represents Coppish. Toon Tactics TV is he's a Newcastle. He's wearing a Newcastle kit. I can see now.
Yeah, Toon.
Yeah, Toon.
Toon
Tactics TV is a Newcastle supporter. Dad's Our Job podcast is a Arsenal supporter. And if I'm wrong, Dad's Our Job podcast, I apologize. You can correct me in the comments. And Harry Richards obviously represents Manchester United.
He's recently escaped from a mental facility near you. He's considered unarmed but unapproachable.
Yes, right. He's about to go on a rant. Yeah, that's not the most beautiful picture of him. My apologies, Harry. I didn't mean to. I wasn't trying to flip you up for that picture at all. But this is because this is all attention drawn to Football Carnage. This is a statement by Football Carnage. This is why I wanted to bring this up. Callum did hit back and try to educate him a little bit by his stance. I think Terry even tried to hit back a little at him to try to get him to kind of comprehend how wild and how misguided his opinion or his viewpoint was. But this is.
I just think before you start talking, I think he's not off to a good start because he hasn't figured out how to where to put the headphones yet.
I know.
Hopefully someone
that's his thing. Yeah. I don't know. He puts his headphones on his temple.
Through his temples. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and
he hasn't figured out how ears work yet. Okay, that's his thing. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting kid.
With that said, the man who has earphones for his temples. This was his take on the football terrace.
Kind of is like. So with like that tweet that you brought up about the guy naming like all the world-class players from maybe like 20 years ago, I do think that, and I wasn't watching back then, but I do think that the standard has dropped off a little bit from like the early 2000s per se. But that doesn't mean that the players currently now aren't better than, let's say, players from like the 50s and 60s, right? Because like whenever I see clips from like the 50s and 60s, I'm gonna be real, those players look like they suck. But everybody talks about them like it's like they're like the greatest ever. Yeah.
Hopefully you could hear that. The primary parts of what I want you to hear is that he basically just said the players from the 50s and 60s, as he was trying to reference, going back, and that was like the yesteryear for him, I guess. He was basically saying they suck. He's like, he looks at those clips and he thinks that those players suck. I'm like,
I'm sure he sits there every day poring over clips from the 50s.
Indeed. Yep. To his warped opinion, but there you go.
Yeah. Let me see if I can include this next one. This one, because this is where it got very interesting. Again, both Callum and Terry tried to educate him a little bit on this, but he went on. He took what they said and still doubled down on this statement. This is why it's interesting. Oh, wait. One second. Make sure I am sharing the right tab here. Okay, this was wild. Because this is what his depiction of the takes, and he said how he watches those 50s and 60s clips and stuff like that. This was his take on it. All the time.
But like, I saw a clip. I can't name you the goalkeeper. It was a black and white clip. There was a long range shot. The goalkeeper made a standard save. And like commentary back then was like, oh my goodness, like he's world class, like he's the best. This is why I forget the goalkeeper's name, but like the way that they were going on about a basic save.
But you could argue that.
This is what I'm saying in terms of.
You argue that about Jesse Owens though. Jesse Owens' time of winning the Olympics wouldn't qualify him today to go to the Olympics.
No, so
I think that's why you got to be careful.
But Terry, so like what I'm saying is, yes. Even though the standard from, let's say, 15 years ago has tipped off a little bit, I still think that the players that we see now across any sport, like basketball, like this sport, any sport, what you're seeing currently now is better than what you saw 30 years ago. Because their version of the game was so simplistic that it's so much advanced. But like...
So their version of the game was so simplistic that this was the howler of the statement. Though.
These people, my God.
This was the howler of the statement. Jesse Owens. This is about Jesse Owens. It's about he's trying to make the reference of making the connection between the different eras and the likes. This was the reference that really got me going a little bit. And again, this is Football Carnage speaking on the football terrace.
Now so for Jesse Owens, for example, for his time, he was great. But in the grand scheme of things, no, he's not great. Like, would he be the Usain Bolt? No.
He's not great.
Again, Jesse Owens in his mind isn't a great athlete. He's not great. In the time, he was great for maybe his era, but he's not great now. I just can't understand why sometimes, again, and this is why this is the journey that I'm on right now, and that is these people that I'm bringing up again, that guy's got over like 3,000 subscribers or something like that on his channel. The Egal, he's got like 20,000 something subscribers or something ridiculous like that.
You know what they say.
You know?
People love the nonsense.
Yeah.
Again, people, we've got a generation that follow all this crap anyway.
Yeah,
But,
they've got thousands upon thousands of people subbing to hear that track, to hear that opinion. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, why is this person even talking right now? I get everyone can have an opinion. Opinions.
When I was like a young adult and a football fan, you could get all the videos in the stores, like of like great Brazil sides. You could also get videos with Brazilian club sides on them. You could get videos, great European sides, great World Cup sides. And you used to watch all these videos, didn't you? Like, so you could see the football that happened before you were born. So you could appreciate it, like, and that. And yeah, it is a bit different in some ways, like, but no, you can't just go saying things like that. That's
it's silly. It's silly. It's silly. It seems like, look, I didn't grow up watching Pele play. Okay, I might be a little bit of an older person, but I am not that old that I was able to watch Pele play like in his prime. I didn't watch Pele play, but there is no way in any word, any dimension that you will hear me say that Pele is not one of the greats of football history. You get what I'm saying?
Actually, like, I don't think he can be beat by any of these new ones. Like, he was like he was something different. There was something different about Pele that just puts him above all the other ones.
Yes, Socrates, another fantastic, not even beyond having one of the best names in football. But yes, I agree. Socrates, another great legend.
Yeah,
another great legend. But I mean, if you listen to the perspectives of this young man, who isn't as young as he might look, but he is young, all the same. This young man with this depiction of saying how, they might have been great in their time, but they're not great now because
you know what you can say to that guy right now? You can say, dude,
you're gonna get older too.
Mr. What's your name?
Yeah.
He looks like he's kind of doing an impression of Kermit the Frog or something in that big. Like, you were apologizing for the guy on the bottom right. I mean, that guy looks even worse, whatever he's trying to do. And with the things on the side of his head, he looks like an idiot. But all you got to do is turn around and say to that guy, you do realize that in 30 or whatever years' time, you're going to be sitting in a pub or on a couch with some youngins, some young bloods, some new kids, and they go, yeah, Mbappe, Messi, yeah, they were good, man. Yeah, Messi was good, but they won't be able to do it today. Today's football, they wouldn't be able to do it.
What's funny is that I totally see that. I do see the Kermit the Frog in that.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got the Kermit the Frog.
I do see it.
Yeah. It's the eyes. He's got the weird.
Now is the song. There's like the Muppet song is in my head.
Didn't Robin that done a song from the bottom of the stairs or something?
Yeah.
Very plaintive. Kermit could be plaintive when he needed to be. But this is the things these guys don't understand. That but it's people like me and you and Nalante. We can sit here and go, it's not even the guys that we remember when we were kids. We know that the guys we didn't even see were as good as, like, the Pelés. Yeah, we didn't sit here watching Pelé and these guys back in the day. Puskas, Di Stefano, all these guys who were the true legends of greats again. But we know how good these people were. We didn't have to watch them. There were no stats back then. There's enough history of people to say this. People who were one of the best in the world saying that's the best guy I ever played with. You have 100 people who say that's the best player I ever played with. We don't need that. But these guys are like, where's your cutoff? Where's your cutoff? It was 30 years ago. Nah, anybody before that, they're shite.
Yeah, there's no way that the older players are diminished, like, by it being some time ago. Like, you know what I mean? I think players have got it easier these days, the way the game is for them.
Yeah, because Lee, do you know what it is? It's like on Harry Enfield. 12 man won't know this, probably. You won't get the reference, but like, you know, Harry Enfield always on the Harry Enfield show, that skit that they used to do. Every week he'd have like this thing where it was basically black and white footage of football from like the 20s. And and they were they were kind of taking the piss out of it. It'd be speeded up because football back then, when you watch it on TV, it looks hilarious because it looks like it's from the 20s and all the hell, you know, running around and all of that. It looks weird.
Yeah,
but they were still kicking the ball. They were still playing the game. But these boys think it was a different sport.
I know. I've seen footage of Real Madrid beating Eintracht Frankfurt in the European Cup final from about 57 or something, and it does look dead old. They do look weird. It's so old, like, but you know, so what, like?
That was a level at the time. These boys, like it's like Bill and Ted. It's like, oh, well, if you brought him back today, he wouldn't survive. Why not? If you brought Maradona back tomorrow, Maradona would still be Maradona.
Still be Maradona, exactly.
Still be one of the best players in the world.
With more
in 2024,
more like scientifically.
Exactly. All the best things you get today.
You know, or
better pitches, better training. Better nutrition.
Now, isn't it? Like,
oh no, but he wouldn't make it today. Why wouldn't he?
That's why it's silly.
So that's
like
why.
Really,
but no, 12
really silly take.
If you said to somebody, that would be like saying to them, "Oh, okay, but if you took Mbappe and sent him back to 1964, he wouldn't be able to cut it because he's a fancy modern footballer." They'd say, "No, that's bullshit. He's so talented that you could put him back 50 years, and he would still thrive." You say, "Well, surely then the Bobby Charltons, the George Bests."
I think excellent modern players would flounder if you put them back in time and stuck them on a pitch in 1955 or something.
I don't think it's just because of the way the game is set up, though. Too the way that when I mean I set up, I mean like the fouls that are called, the things that are allowed to go on. You know,
to get used to it. If you sent Roy Keane back in time, you'd be like, "Yes, please." Roy Keane would love it if you sent him back in time 25 years. He'd be like, yeah, this is my kind of football.
Right.
Yeah. So the idea that none of them...
Even a simple rule is like the era of time when you could pass the ball back to the goalkeeper, you know?
Oh, the back pass.
Even that era has changed. Even the adoption of that rule has changed the way that football is played.
That was one of the best rule changes of all time. Was when they got rid of that
lumps kicked out of them, like in Brazilian football from the 50s.
Yeah, I thought that was a wild take. The whole like
kids today.
It seemed like he had two opportunities to make comments, make a real conversation in this piece. This was one of them, and it was not a good one. 1 second. By the way, that was Robbo that did the backwards kick. I just had to rewind the entire game.
Okay, it was Robbo. Okay.
It's like the fourth time. I thought maybe I missed it. It was. That's because it was in the first half. It was at the 33rd minute at 32.24. So 32 minutes and 24 seconds is when it happened.
Some dedication to the cause there.
A little bit. He kicked it. Then he kicked it and ended up he overhead kicked it. It went to a Southampton player. Then the Southampton player pushed it over, and then that was that one really good save by Kelleher. Not one, but one of the really good saves that he made, where he made a quick move in front of the shot because it was a point blank shot. Got his body in front of it and ended up going off his arm. So that's that. All right, I have to watch more of this. So dedication. That is dedication. I said I would find it. I do my best to try to do what I say. I I've always wished that I could have seen the Hungary team of 1954, the magical Majoras.
My God.
Fantastic. How fantastic that must have been to see them in real time. Yeah, that's the point why I get like, I hear these takes and these points, and I'm just like, look, I'm not saying that Kobe Bryant's not great or that LeBron James isn't great, but I am saying that Michael Jordan is great, and that doesn't mean that Kobe can't be great. Doesn't mean that LeBron James can't be great. They can all be great players, but they didn't play in the same era for the most part, and the game is different. Like as in, whether it's football in England or whether it's football in Europe, football in the anywhere in the world, it's just different.
I think there's a few of today's much-vaunted strikers that would struggle if you put them in the game 60 years ago.
I don't know if they would struggle. I think more so, they would just have to make the adjustment. It's just a matter of can they make the proper adjustment to it. Because I know that it was like, when you hear Stevie Nicol talk about like his era of football, it is a different era.
Be as big a name as they are if they went back in time, you know what I mean? They'd just be another player.
Quite possibly they would be. We're talking about an era when you might quite possibly not even had your name on the back of your kit. Okay, because having the name on the back of your kit wasn't always a thing.
Mm-hmm. No, it's relatively recent names on the back of the kit. Relatively recent.
Yeah, sometimes I used to go out and just have it on there. But
Notice.
Yeah, big up. I think Brian, do you have to go, by the way? You have to go. You can say goodbye.
Yeah, I was just saying. Yeah, just saying. Go. I need to drop out. So
okay.
Just with everybody. Again, look, we'll be back tomorrow, right? Back tomorrow night. Yeah. So
be back tomorrow. I have like one or two more clips that I didn't include tonight, but I will bring out those one or two clips. I thought those were two funny howlers that I wanted because they deal with two different topics though. They deal one about Stevie G and then the other one deals with Holland. So I wanted to definitely get those clips in. But yes, we'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna have to have us be very prepared because Real Madrid is in 2 days. We'll do a roll call for the Real Madrid game. So and we can do a lead in as well. So game is on pretty late for me. But thank you, Brian, for joining us today and getting your ratings in. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
no worries.
Boys tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Brian.
Nice one, bro.
Nice, boys.
On the other side. That's all.
Night all.
Night, bro.
So we're about to end up bringing it to a conclusion because we're at 3:20 at the bottom half of the third hour here. So I don't want to keep everyone up. I know it's a late one for some. And is there anything that you wanted to say before we bounce out? Yeah, I know, Bernie. I know. You wait till you hear the Stevie G one. Stevie G one got me heated too. It definitely got me heated. So it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be a fun one to appreciate tomorrow. But Lee, is there anything you want to say to people, or anything you want to bring up real quick before we end up allowing the people to enjoy the rest of their Monday?
Yes, the list of absentees that High Law provided for Real Madrid when they get here.
Jimmy. No, not Jimmy.
Yeah, big up, Jimmy. Have a good night.
Quite a few absentees there. Rodrigo, a few others, wasn't it, as well as Vinny's Jr. So Militao was one, wasn't he? Valverde's another. I mean, there still are more than enough players, but
absolutely, they're Real Madrid
for us to get a result.
Absolutely. Milante, is there anything you want to say before we allow for the people to do what they need to do on their Monday?
No, once again, big up everyone in the chat. Like I said, we've got big things that go on coming soon, obviously. Appreciate you, chat, keeping the dream alive, like, share, and subscribe, Most of the hosts, 12th the coast for the host, the Arizona man with the most of the post, and the Scouts Lee, and the Flying Irishman, and JK, who's a big disappointment. Don't tell him I said that. Can't hear this. He won't watch his back anyway. But yeah, all I need to say, people, ladies and gentlemen, it's been another fun edition of Player Ratings. You love Darwin, you hate him. You love Subbo, you hate him. Robo in, Robo out. Who cares? We're 8 points, top of the league to you. And we rock on, we move. And I will have something special lined up in my sleeve for my final thoughts in the next 2 days. Be tuned for that. But I'd just like to say, as always, be safe. Take care of each other. Appreciate everyone and let the haters hate. And we've the ballers ball in Liverpool FC Football Club. Arrivederci, sayonara, bon voyage. Tomorrow. Peace out, guys. Much love.
Definitely. Big up to everyone joining us today. Appreciate everyone that showed love by sticking with us for the entire show, 3.5 hours in. Guys really do make the difference. And big up to the panel as well. Big up to Lante, big up to Lee, and also big up to the Irishman, Brian, a.k.a. Laszlo. We will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. As I say, same bat channel, same bat time. We will be here, and we'll have a couple more clips of who said they said what, and hopefully you'll be here to chime in as well. So if you're out there, always remember that you'll never walk alone. So I hope that you always keep that in your heart, because ultimately it comes down to up the Reds, as always. Up the Reds, people. We will see you tomorrow. And until tomorrow, peace.